5 seconds. It's Dire's turn. It's Radiant's turn.
As we have NIGMA versus Cyber Legacy, game 1 of this best of 3. What have been some picks, or just even a pick, that has not yet shown up in Europe CIS that was pretty prominent in some of our other regions?
Terrorblade.
And yeah, Terrorblade.
I would say Terrorblade and even a little bit Tiny, but I'm okay with Tiny not showing up because I think that hero has definitely fallen off. Obviously, in SA, you have someone like Schofield, who 10K MMR player now. If he wants Tiny, same with Crit, you're going to give it to him. But I think, I don't know why. Well. Why isn't Tiny good right now, honestly? He's low cooldowns, right? He has insane burst, and he's low cooldowns. Is his laning phase that bad with the nerf to toss?
It's just the toss range for, like, how far you're out of position. You effectively can be, like, 500 units more forward because of the range nerf on toss early game. And I think since he purely relies on kills and he's got 0 base armor and, like, a sustained heavy meta, unless he's killing people, he's just not any good, right? Sense. You're not going to go headdress Tiny, you know, like all
I hope you're not, yeah.
That'd be a hot take on the meta for sure, but not recommended from me. The Wyvern in the other regions was picked a lot, and I think that's kind of proof that, like, Wyvern's really good against these Terrorblade type heroes, and like heavy physical damage, like Shred, whoever gets cursed kind of lineups. And if these teams are picking different carries, you're going to see different supports. So I think Keeper of the Light is just, it was picked in the other regions, but in EU so far, it's been first ban, first pick every single game that I've seen. At least certain teams they're just like, the hero's just a little too good. Chakra Magic is a pretty good spell, and that's a perfect example of a hero that fits the meta because he has a long cooldown ultimate. It's great for team fights, but outside of team fights, he's able to fight alongside his team with Chakra Magic. And the same with Mars, for instance, right? You have the arena, but outside of it, you still have a stun, you still have some damage with your God's Rebuke. But heroes like Void and Slark seem to be tough to pull off. Yeah, like any hero that waits for the timing, that has a hard time to 5-man Slark, that example, and then any hero that's just outside of his ult is useless. It faces Void. It's
if you
just
see
tough.
Team NIGMA ban an AA, all of a sudden your head starts racing. Are we about to get Alked? Are we about to get Huskard?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly.
I just see that AA from them and I'm like,
it counters a lot of what they like to do.
Necro, Huskar, Alchemist, as you mentioned.
We haven't seen too much cheese actually in CIS in Europe, and I thought we might end up seeing more. I'm just mildly surprised we haven't seen like last picks.
I think I had a few predictions going into this, and the one that I think I was really right about, the other ones were a bit off, was that combos are better. Just because of the lack of bans later on in the draft.
Mars Phoenix.
Yeah, Mars Phoenix. We see Grimstroke Rickies. We see like Coddle Embers. All these combos are just better because early on you want heroes that synergize well together because you don't have any bans to protect them. And later on, since you can kind of telegraph what's good with your lineup, you can easily pick like 1-2 combo in the second round as well. So we're kind of seeing 2 hero combos be very popular based on the shifting in the bans.
And there it is, the Coddle first pick. Didn't want it any other way, obviously.
Probably Ember coming in hot unless they pick it. You have to imagine with Miracle on your team that Ember will be the hot. He's Mars DP.
We've seen this opening a few times.
Almost certainly Ember now. Ember's very nice versus Mars. Not be the best versus Death Prophet. You're not going to lane at mid. You're almost certainly going to lane at carry.
You need a couple items to play versus DP, and then you are decent versus her. But in the early, the 1 through 30, like if you actually get silence and you don't have a save, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think Miracle's too good to get silenced. You know, he's not gonna
never get silenced.
Yeah.
We'll be watching you, Miracle. Don't mess up.
Do you think GH is probably the best Coddle in the game?
I would say GH used to be, but now I don't think you can play it as a... Well, I think you can play it as a 4, but I don't think there's a reason to play it as a 4.
definitely a farm-heavy support with his Illuminate, but he just doesn't play like that anymore.
I would say he was, though. At the time when it was a 4, I'd say he was the best
Yeah, that's
model.
true. That's true. Like, I don't know who's played it best in this new revamped 5 position.
It just feels weird because, like, how do you style on people? Like, you throw down your ulti, you get them, right? That's pretty much it. You throw out your chakra, you make your carry player look swaggy, not yourself.
Old Coddle was certainly harder to swag with than the new one. You know, new one at least you could do some with Will-O-Wisp and get like a big swaggy wisp or something.
Blinding Light has some plays where we've seen people knock people onto cliffs, like break static links from Razor.
That's all that made Ake, you know, like a legend. That huge Blinding Light play. I'm not saying that's all that made him.
That's all that made
That's all you were,
good.
Ake.
Not
He's a
the
one-hit wonder. One Blinding Light, and now everyone thinks you're so good. Nah, he's a legend. And we miss him certainly. But I've been curious. You know, Coddle's come and go. Certainly, GH has had his name on the hero for quite some time, but it looks like it could be going a bit different here. And then, as you alluded, the Bat Rider.
I like this hero here. I like it a lot because it's easily protectable by the one-ban Oracle that not only counters it but also synergizes really well with DP. He goes well against both these cores, whether or not it's in lane or just in game. I have to assume they're going to consider picking Legion or Abaddon or something, but the problem is you have this Mars, right? So what do you pick?
Yeah.
That's why we generally don't see 2 supports first round, and also why we don't see 2 cores.
Yeah.
Because usually one or the other is a good option to counter whatever the second pick is. And since they revealed 2 cores, all they have to do is know, hey, we just have to protect the support from being picked.
It could be a 4 DP. I highly doubt against it. I agree. We saw it in what, SA? I want to say twice, and that was about it.
It's been in NA pubs, so it's usually the SA pub players that have been picking it.
But it's just like, if you think about a 4 DP against a Bat Rider Coddle, it's not even like good versus those. You don't really do anything. So you're kind of forced to play a core.
They might do some wonky support. I don't think you want to give them a first pick Bat with no save.
Yeah.
They could go like a disruptor type thing where it's meant to counter the mobility of the Bat, or they, Rubik's another decent option, just the lift right after he lassos.
Oh, that's true.
Much more likely, I guess.
Where's the next assassin at, my friend? Not banned, been first picked in some regions, first banned. I guess they just
they could easily do Nick's Bat here. It's good against DP Grim.
Clock. Oh.
Okay. I like this draft so far from NIGMA. It's a bunch of heroes we don't see too much of. Bat Rider because he's banned a lot of games, and Clockwork is quite good against Mars, I think, and good at disrupting the fight against heroes like DP. And most notably, I think it's really good for the disengage. Like, they pick DP. They clearly have a plan with Team NIGMA. Like, look at their peel and disengage on the side of Team NIGMA. Like, they have Blinding Light, they have Flame Break, they have Cogs. They just, in general, have high mobility heroes, very fast. However, if you've ever had the displeasure of playing Clockwork into peel, that is miserable. So they may need to... This Bat Rider Clockwork do well, so they could consider doing Bat Rider mid.
10 seconds.
I don't know if Weehaw plays that. Have we ever seen a Weehaw Bat Rider? Okay.
Oh, he certainly does, yeah.
Weehaw is actually one of the, like, you don't think about it because, right, I would say Weehaw's kind of known as a hero spammer now. When he was first picked up way back, like ESL New York 2015, the dude was playing every single hero. So it's weird to see a guy, like, known for playing everything kind of turn into a hero spammer.
Well, he was originally a spammer, right?
Yeah, he was.
He was a spammer, and then he played everything, and now he's back to playing pretty meta stuff.
Yeah.
Are they really not going to pick Ember for Miracle? Okay, so they do move the Bat to mid as expected after seeing Bat Clock potentially be against PL. That just does not sound good.
I love the synergy, by the way, between Darkseer and Keeper of the Light, because you get free Blinding Light bumps through the wall. Or Will-O-Wisp, you can pull them like under the wall.
That was the one I was thinking.
Value City,
I wasn't thinking about the bumping them into the wall. I was just thinking about the vacuum into the Will-O-Wisp.
Bump, cool down, and then bump again. You can do 2 bumps. Yeah.
Whoa. You are lacking. You have this really good damage in like the kind of 10 to 25 minute mark on NIGMA, but you need something that actually does damage. TB, you're going to need an Omega carry.
You're not picking TB into PL.
You're not. That's the problem.
The Miracle Anti-Mage?
I think you have to pick a carry that makes use of Coddle. Like, they banned the Anti-Mage, but I don't know. The one game we saw Keeper of the Light lose yesterday was when the lane was Coddle Slark, and I just don't think that's a thing. Like, I think Coddle without Chakra Magicking his carry is actually really weak in lane.
Yeah, they do ban the AM.
So we could see, like, Bristle's probably not likely, but anything like Ember, Bristle, Gyro,
Gyro.
Any hero that gets enabled by chakra is like my one condition I would like to have for this hero. I think anti-mage would have been really good for the game. I'm just concerned about their laning stage. If they're gonna need to help the Darkseer get off to the good decent start where the clock's probably gonna cut creeps with them. They're both gonna tank the creep wave with Ion Shell. And then PL actually scales really poorly against Darkseer. It's really hard to explain, but I've played this matchup a lot, and you have all of these heroes with Ion Shell on them, and you're just tanking the Ion Shell damage as you're trying to kill them, and it's really annoying. And then obviously you get the illusion of PL, which is pretty good.
So a mana spammer who can deal with PL.
You
Or
had
some
him
sort
new.
of like
What was
in
it?
my mind, like I'd love to see CK again, but CK I think is bad against PL, right?
Yeah,
Like, he would
any,
just be warm.
any single target damage dealer like CK is
So you need
bad.
he's missing the Battle Fury Mjolnir AoE factor to him.
Troll Warlord could work here.
I feel it's gonna be Troll or Jug,
Yeah.
and I don't like Jug. I don't like Jug, but I've seen NIGMA do similar drafts like this where you honestly just run at them with 4 Ion Shells on you and you win the game by 20 minutes. I think Troll is the best pick for me.
Yeah, I like
though.
Troll. I think they
just
could.
never see Miracle play that here.
You might get. Do you want to get Razored though? Because then you could definitely get Razored by Cyber Legacy, and I think it's actually good.
Well, no, don't they?
Super good.
You're assuming it's a 4 DP and then.
Well, no, I'm
Razor?
just assuming if it
can't
could
pick,
be. That's
they
what I'm
can't
saying.
pick Razor against Batrider, I don't think.
You don't think?
That's like a 90-10 matchup for Batrider, like in the game and in lane too.
I guess, but you need. The problem is you're never gonna have 3 good lanes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. We've seen it. We've seen it.
You have absolute
Yeah.
last pick, and you know it's a Batrider.
So you don't want to do that, yeah.
Like, you know it's bad, so you're gonna leave PL safe lane despite the fact that it was picked to counter the bad, just because it should do fine in lane versus the Darkseer. I said PL doesn't scale well, but I'm surprised it took this long, but it goes so well with Coddle, it goes so well with the Iron Shell. He can consider Maelstrom or Radiance. Battle Fury Ember is not a thing. For all the people in my pubs who've built it and ruined my game, please do not do that anymore.
Battle Fury PL?
No, Battle Fury Ember.
Oh, I was about to say, I was like, man, that sounds really game-ruining. Battle
No,
Fury
there's that
Ember
one patch that Battle Fury PL was a thing because it benefited
You see, that's
Illusion.
because you just bought it. No, I'm just kidding. I know I did
that was our TZ terrible or our TZ PL, and people started doing it.
So you don't think Ember with Battle Fury is ever good now?
I
Or-
personally don't think
that's
so.
fine.
From the way Cleve got reworked, but
Miracle's buying it this game.
if he buys a Battle Fury,
Then you have to admit
I
you're wrong.
will
It's Miracle.
admit I am wrong. Like, no question. I will not say I
He won't,
disagree
though.
for this. I will say, well, I was wrong, and I'll figure out why by next time.
Thanks. But he won't. He'll go somewhere.
He'll go Maelstrom or Radiance. Maelstrom or Radiance.
All right, so you need a mid laner potentially, or if the DP. No, they're gonna get the Legion.
Okay, let's see. We gotta see who picks
Mid-Legion. It's
what.
mid-Legion against... I said you need to mix it up and pick Legion or Abaddon. Like, you just have to. So 4 DP or what?
Wait,
For Mars?
We're waiting to see. Sorry, what heroes? Oh, so it's Middle Legion.
Yeah,
It's
Middle
Pikachu
Legion. Middle Legion,
You're
yep.
right. So they did swap it up here.
I like it. We saw it day 1 with OG.
Is it too cheeky?
It counters bad in the lane and kind of in game with the press the attack save, but
Wait, isn't this exactly what OG did against NIGMA? Seb played mid
Yeah, the
Legion
middle Legion.
against Weeha's bat.
Yeah.
And he
crushed him.
owned. So that's gonna be the big thing. I think Pikachu actually might be the best player on Cyber Legacy. I'm curious to see. I like how they give him this matchup that we did see Seb, as you said, win.
Yep.
I actually like Cyber Legacy's draft more. Obviously, I like NIGMA as a team more. I'll give Cyber Legacy. I will give it a 51-49, but I will say I favor them. I'll say it.
All right, you're brave.
I'm doubtful of the offlane for Cyber Legacy. I'm curious to see how it plays out. I could easily be wrong. I've never seen a Mars Death Prophet offlane. And I've also played Legion and PL into Dark.
Pikachu?
We have an interview. We have an interview. Pikachu, what can they do? Legion Commander versus Batrider. You just saw it win? Easy? All right, my friend. Well, get on
outta
over
here.
there.
Get into that game. What are you doing? All right. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and throw it over to our casters now. We have Capitalist and Blitz to game number 1.
This is gonna sting!
These wretched fools have no idea.
That was
Well,
lame.
Pikachu seems fresh and full of confidence that they're going
should
to
have known
own
better.
NIGMA. Blitz, you feeling the same?
I don't know about that.
About that?
think NIGMA is the better team. Although I don't know how much I love their lineup.
Well, that's not what the people agree with you. They don't know about that either. That is a pretty heavily favorited Team NIGMA.
That is the most one-sided odds I've seen for game 1 now.
For a game 1?
Yeah.
It's kind of expected, right? TI grand finalists in NIGMA versus Cyber Legacy. A lot of people may not even know who they are.
I know who they are.
No-name team, but they're not so no-name, right?
Yeah, they're okay.
A lot of their players come from J178, who actually had a pretty good showing at the summit at the minor.
They beat Bait, right? The other day. That's what it was. That was the matchup. Yeah. So
Doesn't inspire a ton of confidence, but it gets the ground running.
Bait wasn't terrible. They were better than I thought they'd be. Just things need to break their way a little bit, but probably need a bit more synergy.
So what needs to go right here for Cyber Legacies to upset the odds?
I think they need to
win mid, right?
Yeah, but I also think like they're. Let me see. They have to not lose in like 25 minutes. If their PL can come online, then I think they can win.
I mean, this is a triple off lane Team NIGMA.
Yeah.
Darkseer, Clockwork, Batrider. These heroes are going to fall off.
I think it is quite a good Clockwork game though. Normally it's like, is it a good Clockwork game if he matches up well against at least one support and at least one core? And I would say that that is the case. Yes, he's good against Legion. He's good against Grimstroke. He's pretty good against Death Prophet because you don't want to go Force Staff or anything like that on Death Prophet. The only thing he really sucks against is PL.
Yeah, he hard sucks against PL. There are some interactions that you maybe don't love. In that Spirit Siphon, you got some issues there. And then Cogs is a free setup for Spear, but generally speaking, I do think those heroes are still countered by Clockwork.
I think NIGMA might have learned from their series with OG. Yeah. In that you can't expect these like 40-minute games against the top teams. Like, I don't know what this is. If GH goes back to it, I swear to God.
The outpost that does nothing.
I swear to God, if GH goes back for that.
All right, well, Cyber Legacy, good attempt there.
Oh, Miracle tried for it.
That would have been cute if Miracle could have grabbed up that bounty rune, but we will just have a 2-2 split.
They have to play fast. Like, that's what they learned from their series against OG, hopefully. And even if you think by default you'll win late game against Cyber Legacy, like, that's what you normally do against teams that are worse than you. You just like map control and then you win like 35-40 minute game. And if it goes late, like, your experience usually wins. Like, that's how Navi won, right?
Right.
The other day, but or no, they lost actually. But the idea is
they almost won.
Yeah.
They almost.
The idea is like, so if you think you're the better team, you scale a little bit better.
Yeah. So
that even if you mess up, you'll eventually get to like one fight. And I think what NIGMA is doing is probably practicing playing faster, because their whole like anti-mage, let's let Miracle carry us late game thing did not work.
No, not at all.
And nor did their split pushing. So might as well try to pick like the most team fight oriented lineup I've ever seen, and pick Miracle something that can fight pretty early. Last time they did pick him Nature's Prophet, but the way that he played it was like, I'm never gonna fight.
Yeah. Snipe out of the Courier. We have, I like last hero's choice here, an early Orb of Venom. He's really trying to push a lot of harassment onto Miracle in this lane, since he does have the advantage early.
Indeed he does.
And then we've got Mind Control, who at bottom lane stacked up the creep wave and is now going to push into him. I imagine this lane is really annoying for a Phantom Lancer. The Darkseer specifically, not Clockwork though.
I don't think Phantom Lancer actually cares about Darkseer. No? Like in lane anyways.
Okay, what hero does care about Darkseer at this point? Because I feel like almost every hero doesn't care about Darkseer.
Yeah, that's the thing about Darkseer, is that Darkseer doesn't actually pressure your lane or anything like that. He just kind of, you farm, he farms. Because he pushes the lane back into you to farm anyways. The only time it kind of sucks is like when there's some cheesy combos like Spirit Breaker, Darkseer, and then they double Ion Shell run at you. Sometimes that part is really annoying. But other than that, everyone free farms against Darkseer. It's always just kind of been the nature of the hero that every single safe laner likes playing against this hero. And that's another Courier snipe.
Battery Assault versus Spirit Siphon. A good snipe of the courier. Trying to pull the hard camp. We'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, mid lane, how's Pikachu doing? 12-3 compared to 10-1. He's doing all right for himself. Holding on to the press the attack for now. Doesn't want to have to blow it too early. Seems like everyone's just going to be content to farm.
I don't know if there's a lot of kill potential from either side, really.
Yeah.
Like in the lanes, I think both sides just watch each other farm. I would imagine NIGMA makes the first move, though. Like, I could see this clockwork going to the safe lane at some point and just killing.
Yeah, they're not winning the lanes hard enough on the side of NIGMA just to like chill out. Right? Yeah, they should want to make some moves.
They're losing 2 lanes. As expected, they are losing bottom, but middle lane, it is Legion Commander favored, as we saw the other day. It really seems like they want to push this like rehop outrider concept, though. I noticed Crow does this sometimes. He just picks like his mid hero, his mid player, like the same hero over and over again.
In your experience, why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think he just gets drawn to a concept and he really wants to see
push it to its limits.
Yeah.
See all the iterations in which you can run it. Last hero trying to go for a kill here onto Miracle. Miracle does have the chains out, gets it onto last hero. Now he's going to turn back as the Inkswell fades away. They just need one more hit. And Miracle has that hit in a sleight of fist to claim the first blood. Now he's going to turn the damage onto Big Num. Big Num realizing that Miracle is not low enough to go for that.
That was so good. That was really well done by Kuro.
Yeah.
Really, really nice play.
Uh-oh. Happy? No, you good. You good. Managed to guard the runes. Pikachu managed to get the illusion.
They do have good heroes, though, when it comes to PL scaling. Like, Darkseer, I think, is really nice. I don't know if I would go for Manta if I was PL this game, though.
Yeah.
I think I prefer going for, like...
Happy. If he's dead, he's going to be run down pretty easily. Nice kill there. Pikachu getting Weehaw quite low in the mid lane. Tries to run him down. Weehaw actually popping a healing salve and gets hit. I think he thought that Pikachu was going to turn slower than he did. That's a pretty big blow to the mid laner of NIGMA. As now he's going to have to just wait for bounty runs to refill his bottle.
Yeah, he only has 16 CS. He's almost getting doubled up on. In fact, when he kills his creep wave mid, he will have doubled up Weehaw mid. Weehaw will recover by getting these bounty runes, but I don't think there's too many stacks that are devoted for him. If there are any in the jungle, it would be for, I'd imagine, the Legion Commander. And it doesn't really feel like NIGMA's abusing like what makes Coddle broken as a safe laner, which I think is just stacking like crazy. You can stack multiple camps at once.
That's one of the reasons we saw, who was it yesterday? They picked Dire Side. They chose Dire Side with Coddle.
Was it NIP?
Yeah, I think it was. And PBD was just stacking those 3 camps.
Yeah, that's normally what you see with this combo, but they're not really doing it, and I think they're kind of getting behind as a result. Even though they got first blood and the first kill in the game, they're getting CS outpaced pretty hard.
Happy. It's going to be gone out again. This time he's got Palantimos to help him out, but Happy is losing his health faster than GH. He does have his stick charge, so that's going to help him out for a little bit of time. And Palantimos now has to commit to the kill, but he's going to be chased out by Weehaw. Big Num unable to hit that stroke of fate there. And Inkswell will keep Weehaw back for a moment, but now he's going to go for the kill. And Flame Break out. Surge on in. Palantimos trying to juke it right now, but Weehaw is going to go for the easier kill in Big Num. Rotation from the Bat Rider, much needed, and asserts some dominance in that bottom lane.
Yeah, he needed to make something happen because right now he's 2 levels behind Pikachu. Pikachu's having like the freest Legion game. I think this is even freer than when Seb played it actually. Really needs to get his bottle refilled too, and he's probably just gonna get active like non-stop now. I think he's too far behind in the mid lane to make real big impact there.
So Pikachu will continue to have a free lane. Kuro's going to take over, and Weehaw is going to show up to bottom lane once again. Going to start off Battery Salt, trying to find the real Palantimos, force him into Doppelgangering. Now he does. Siphon out from Happy, he's chasing Weehaw. They also have this Inkswell. The rotation coming out from Pikachu Pikachu. They can get a duel here, but will they actually win the fight? He's going to go for it now. Should be able to kill the Clockwork, and the rest of his team is being chased down by Weehaw. Doesn't win the duel, and GH will eventually die afterwards, but still, it's a 1-for-2 trade with the rotation in the mid laner of Cyber Legacy. Got that hit. Palatimos, he doesn't have Doppelganger up just yet. Now he's got it up, but he wants to be able to wait for a second. A blast comes in, doesn't dodge it. He's going to be hit by the flame break, immediately taken off by Pikachu. Great timing by him, but now he's got nothing to protect himself. He's just got to swing and hope for lifesteal. Probably doesn't quite get it. Big Up coming back in. The last one's going to be used, but he has Ink He can't get away from it. Palatimos hoping to be able to finish him off. Does manage to get that one kill. Mind Control's going to be able to finish him off in turn. Double kill for Mind Control. He's going to turn and do as much damage to Big Number before he dies to Happy. Meanwhile, the Siege Wagon manages to pick up the tower as well. NIGMA definitely walk away the beneficiaries of that team fight.
Yeah, it's because Cyber Legacy just kept killing one by one.
Too good.
They literally filtered heroes in one by one. No surprise that they ended up losing that. Legion Commander throwing away his lead just a little bit. Trying to help out the Phantom Lancer a little bit too much.
Yeah, it feels like they're trying to save Palatimos' game too much, but he can just recover off the jungle.
Yeah, I honestly think maybe you even just rotate the Legion down there to bottom, and then you send the PL mid, where literally no hero was. Like, that was a 4-hero rotation while Ember and Marsh just farmed.
Yeah.
Little bit of an awkward situation.
Well, it does lead NIGMA into having a net worth lead, but it's not that large. And maybe Cyber Legacy can get a better read of what's going to be happening here, as Happy's going to die bottom lane.
I really like Weehaw's rotations this game. I think he realized that if he just stays mid and the game stays even, he's probably going to lose this.
Yeah.
So he's just trying to get aggressive everywhere on the map as much as possible.
Sometimes the best way to ruin somebody's farm is not to actually sit in lane, but to force them to rotate.
Yeah, and he is getting out-leveled and out-CS, but there's not much he can do in the laning phase, so he might as well just focus on the other heroes.
Yep.
And he's really slowed down this PL's timing. So good on him for that. He's finding a way back into the game for himself.
Last hero, he's the one on Cyber Legacy. He's the core that's been suffering right along Weehaw. They've got similar net worth right now. He does have his level 6 though, and he's going to join his team in moving around. I'm not sure what they're expecting out of this though. I think they're hoping to run into to Mind Control and arena him, but it says it's going to be Weehaw they run into. And he is very quickly able to get away. They're going to try and go for the outpost here. Channeling it, should be able to secure it. Hoping for that experience. Weehaw's going to force him back, see if he can get him into a team fight here. Will-O-Wisp down for the arena. It latched onto Weehaw first. That's going to be big. Pikachu unable to finish off the Will-O-Wisp in time, but still with Ink they'll be able to bring down Weehaw now. Miracle, he's going to be dueled up. They have the damage come in. Everyone's throwing their spells at him, but Miracle's rather tanky. Now he's going to be surged away. He turns back in with Sleight of Fist combo onto Happy. That's going to be able to take him down, and Pikachu's just surrounded by ion shell charges. He fights it out, but it is to no avail. He dies, and another 3 dead on Cyber Legacy. Once again, NIGMA and a superior team fight.
Yeah, look at this. They've learned from their series.
Run at them. Use that surge to run at them even faster.
Yes, they have definitely learned from their
Look at him.
series.
Now he's TPing up to the top lane. Miracle can't stop, won't stop. He's mana. Okay, he uses the chains and misses, and now Palatimos is like, wait a minute.
The funny part is Miracle didn't have mana, but he wasn't punished for that at all, and it felt like he just had the bloodlust scenario. Yeah. Thinking straight, he's like, I have to keep going.
Got to play down on Pikachu. All of this uncontrollable damage. They're going to turn it around back onto NIGMA. Managed to get 1 kill, but now the flame mail's faded, and Weehaw feels good about going from lasso on to Pikachu. Happy's trying to help him out with Spirit Cyclone on well. Hoping they can get a support kill. Pikachu surviving, thanks to press the attack, is able to stay alive underneath the tower. NIGMA now have to retreat, but it's Weehaw. Slowed down a bit. They don't go for the kill. I like the fact that Cyber Legacy are playing a bit more defensively.
Yes.
They gotta understand NIGMA is much stronger than them.
I don't know how defensively you think they're playing, because they're still running at them.
I just mean they didn't push out underneath the tower. Oh, that white now. Almost enough to kill Weehaw, and last hero cleans up the kill. Very nice.
Dead for a really long time, by the way. He did buyback just a second for the outpost fight that he thought was going to happen, but his team ended up cleaning up anyways. So Weehaw looking pretty hampered right now, but we're going to see a nice
close shot from Pikachu. He got off the press attack first in the cogs. Blade Happy's getting 2 kills again. Opens up the spear to be able to stun it, but it's still enough to run down Pikachu. The soul bind onto 2. but they have to run away. Even though they are all grouped up, they know they can't take the fight against NIGMA. They just gotta wait and buy time for Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, they're really not playing that defensively. Like, they're still trying to fight around.
I mean, they're 4-manning mid.
I want them to 4-man like properly though, because I think they're getting caught out one by one too much. Like, wait for your Legion to come up and just sit by this tower. If you have to give up the tower, so be it.
Double slide, double chains.
So back up now and wait for your, I think your Legion is your strongest hero right now. He's got the highest net worth. Just sit back and now press forward with him. Maybe you can take a 4v4, 4v5.
As long as they don't lose this tower, it's not too bad. Palatimos is going to go farm bottom lane now, but he is going to show his TP, and that may allow NIGMA to feel rings in their attempts here. He's going to go for the arena. The spear goes out, actually launches it onto the hookshot or something there. GH is still going to have to fight it out. Oh, this one, they do a nice Inkswell stun on the 3, but still Pikachu is being targeted and brought down. There goes most of their damage. Blue Wind's forcing them back. Oh, last hero tries to hit the spear, finish off GH, but a battery itself fakes it unintentionally, and he misses the spear. Now it looks like they're just going to lose 4, as Happy's going to go down as well. Nobody dead on the side of NIGMA just yet. Mind Control is being chased down by Palatimos. He's going to go for the kill here. Raindrop actually manages to cover that bit of damage, and Palatimos fails to get that kill, and now he's just going to be chased down into the river. That is a 5-man wipe. And NIGMA, once again, does not lose anybody.
Yeah, they keep doing this. PL at the last second. The entire point of his team dying for him though is to try to create space for him, maybe even take top tier 2. But he just came in at the very end after the rest of his team was dead. They don't really have the damage for this either. Like, if they can't kill Clockwork here, like you can see the PL comes in from behind once it's 1v4.
It's the fact he was farming top, and then he TP bottom.
Yeah, and then
when he showed, NIGMA's like, all right, it's a 5 versus 4.
The best part is he spent like a second just hitting neutrals, and then he was like, oh, well, maybe I should kill Mind Control here. Goes back in.
That raindrop just came off cooldown.
Yeah, then he just kind of dies. They're not really utilizing this space. Really like what NIGMA's doing though. They're just fighting 5-on-5 non-stop. And Cyber Legacy, you know, they also have the madness in them. They're taking every single fight, even though none of them have gone well for them. They're still doing it. I respect it.
I mean, at this point, they can't split push, right?
No, they can't.
There's too much catch. Clockwork, Bat Rider. They probably think they're fine, right? 4-man underneath their tower. No big deal.
Yeah, it's just the way that they're taking the fights is a little bit puzzling. This is going to be a death profit.
Just constantly invading. Cyber Legacy, not used to this pace of game.
And this is, to be fair to them, this is an insanely fast pace. I don't think they expect those teams to just run into this 5 for the past 12 minutes.
Will-O-Wisp to make sure they grab Bignum, and there's no retreat for last hero either. As a result, 3 getting picked off in the top lane. And now it might be time for Cyber Legacy to come up with a different game plan here.
I think at this point, you don't really have a different game plan, because you are correct. I don't think they can just sit back and farm anymore. They will just get picked off. But I do think they could have utilized the first 10 minutes better. Like the action at bottom to just fight non-stop and come 1 by 1. Just lose hero after hero, I think is probably the wrong idea.
6 to 22.
That is 6 to 22,
now.
all right. And NIGMA will just continue to run at them. They're just going to keep 5-manning, I guess.
They almost have the Diffuser Blade up on the Phantom Lancer, the last hero. He is getting caught here.
That's another kill. And they're just getting killed on lanes non-stop. It's not even like they're trying to farm jungle. They are trying to push out lanes. That is the correct thing to do, but what are you supposed to do when 5 heroes just... Look at this, they just smoke up, they're going to run his farm again. And so confused.
Miracle knows he's totally green, but he does actually get pulled up with Flame accidentally. Instead, a winner for Pikachu. And now here comes Happy as well as Palatimos with beautiful Soulbind. Unfortunately, killing Curl releases Mind Control. He surges away into the river. Can he still be chased down? Happy does manage to get a Spirit Siphon, a bump back from the Flame Break, breaking that Spirit Siphon and allowing Mind Control to be able to get away. Turns to the left-hand side, we have that arena. make sure that Kuro goes down. And a small turnaround that actually released 2,000 net worth back into the coffers of Cyber Legacy.
Yeah, that comes down to a few things. First, GH misses his hook shot to get to the backline. Maybe if he nails the Legion Commander there, he can save his Ember. Like, Ember doesn't need that much longer to survive. You can see right here, he just kind of walks in the double silence, so Kuro can't cast anything. The missed hook shot, like Kuro is way too close to Miracle there. If he's able to get the Blinding Light plus the ultimate off, I don't think Miracle dies. Although he didn't have his ulti. But the Blinding Light alone, I think, would have done it.
Back into the game we go, because NIGMA, they're not going to slow down.
Let's do it. It's their play.
That was a minor speed bump on the road to victory. At least that's what they believe. Now they only have a 4,000 net worth lead, and it's beginning to get a little bit concerning. And Palantimos is on his second item here very soon. He's going to go Hood. A lot of magic damage floating around.
I saw this really clever line. Somebody said Miracle's going to turn this Pikachu into Ash. Get it? Because he's Ember. That's pretty good. No? That's one of the better references I've heard.
Early in the morning for that.
I'm just saying, I enjoyed that.
Are you gonna go? Miracle. Poking around that tier 2, push back. By the sphere, of course, he runs right back in with that surge. Now they are gonna be able to press D-tag off the last of the hook shot actually missing here in the arena. Only gonna be able to grab one of them. That's unfortunate. Pikachu with his blade mail is looking for a duel, and he's gonna be able to get it off now. But they lost their Mars, and now he's gonna lose the duel perhaps. Mind Control does manage to get away from that, and the rest of his team cleans up the Legion Commander once again. They opt to take a team fight thinking that they were going to be good, but slight mis-execution leads to 4 of them dying here underneath their tier 3, and Palantimos just got to get out of here. Otherwise, he's going to give Miracle a rampage to work with. Miracle, he wants it bad, he's got the chain, going to be turn around, make sure the Miracle gets up, but Miracle just died! He got the rampage, but he dies!
Alright, so they all backed off to let him have it, and it does get him killed, but worth. 100% worth.
Worth. 562 shared bounty between Bignum, Happy, and Palantimos.
I mean, Cyber Legacy is just getting 5-man, and, you know, some surprise Pikachu face meme.
God, that would have been so massive if PL got that kill.
And he didn't die?
Experience.
Yeah. Or if he died like half a second later.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options that could have helped him a lot. But, yeah, since the OG games, I haven't seen somebody just 5-man like this pretty much ever. Like, I don't think anybody's farmed on the side of NIGMA for the past, I don't know, like 10 minutes. I think since they got any sort of items, they've literally just been like they're just gonna do it again. The group up is 5, fight. Cyber Legacy is like, when do we farm jungle? Pause. Just quick timeout? No.
Just a couple minutes. Just all we need.
Alright, so now they're gonna smoke and fight them.
Smoke behind the Phantom Eyes. They are going to be looking at the call. That is massive. They swell so line going out. Hook shot again. Oh, Happy Giorno. A nice spear coming in. Locking down Miracle. They also have the silence on him. He's being bumped back by the cogs kept against the arena. But Dashman slide into the chains. Now he's going to be able to surge away. Palantimos blocked in by Malasso. Jumps at the high ground away from his team. Here comes Pikachu. He's got a stun on the Miracle. The spear off through. Miracle's dead. GH locking Pikachu in the cogs. Pikachu, he fights back. He's the coordinator with me. He's regenerating some, but not enough. It's good enough to do some damage though. Palantimos looks to be able to clean up the kills. He's already got GH. Oh God, they're going to win that by illusion. That's 4 dead and make it weak as they do. This could be a team wipe. Let's go. Cyber Legacy are back in Team NIGMA. You can play like OG, but I'm not sure if you can play it as good as OG.
They just ran at them back as 5. Cyber Legacy is a baller team. They lost the past like 6 fights, and they're like, you know what? It's time for us to smoke and take another fight. And they finally get it done. Unbelievable.
I mean, that is the thing, right? You only need to win one of these team fights for every like 5 you lose or something.
Is that really the math? Is that how that works out?
I'm pretty sure that's how that works out. With killing sprees and stuff.
One fight.
It's worth
even
so
out the
much.
last 5. You're not entirely wrong. It's only a 4,000 gold lead, despite NIGMA feeling like they've won the past like 20 fights. And everything is ticking upwards now. they just didn't really get too many spells off. And the Legion Commander lasted for way too long. And if they get Miracle, Miracle's their damage dealer. If you look at their lineup, like, he's their only physical damage.
Jesus, happy.
I think he's dead. There's 5 heroes
dead.
If you see one hero at this point, you know that there's 5.
I like it. Just go for some neutral creeps.
You might as well.
Create some space.
And this is the only thing that this team has seen this entire game. Like, this is the first time Legion has been able to go to a lane and push something out.
Top lane for a little bit. Immediately they smoke back up into mid. Now, Cyber Legacy, they back away from this mid tier 2. Are they going to run up to top lane, or are they just going to take the objective? They're going to go for top. The rest of the team is going to make it look like they're going to hit for mid. In fact, they really are doing damage to that tower, but it's a bit of a screenplay here.
Yeah, I do think I think Cyber Legacy is playing this pretty well, though. I think they realize they can't fight, or they can't farm their way back into their game, and I do think they are correct. Because if NIGMA just does this and runs at you as 5, and they play very fast, they have really quick heroes, like Ember Spirit, Darkseer, Batrider are really fast on the map. Clockwork has the longest spell that isn't global in the game in Hookshot, so you have to just be prepared to fight, and they're going to go for smoke again. And realistically, they're probably just one fight away from being even in this game again.
Mike Control's going to show himself immediately getting dueled. A missed hook shot once again from GH and Arena, and locking up the resident hero. They may not have won the duel, but they've got so fight up, and these 2 heroes with Happy Diara out with DX using it, doing a lot of damage too. Miracle, he's still locked in, but eventually the Soulbind fades. Now he's going to be surged up. He's able to run away, play the distance while he's burning them all alive. He's going to be a blast off the mark. Right next to him, and he's going to die, but Palantimos has already cleaned up 1 hero in the back line, and now can make a set. Actually, as Mind Control dies, Kuro has come back to this team fight, but Palantimos really wants that kill on a Miracle, unable to get it. He runs forward with the Phantom Rush, but I think you've got to be careful, my friend.
Yeah, now he's completely isolated, and Cuddle's here to just allow this to happen over and over again.
Getting a slight change over and over. He has the hood and protects him against some of the damage, but he jumps the wrong direction here. Pikachu is here to be able to bail you out. He goes for the press the attack, but now he's come close enough that he's almost getting caught. A hook shot barely misses as Pikachu blinks himself to safety.
They almost won that fight, though.
They were kind of close.
They were kind of close. If Palantimos doesn't chase out, and he lives there, I actually think that's a somewhat reasonable fight for them to take.
It wasn't a bad idea, him like just going for Kuro right now, but at the same time he had a buyback.
Also, they needed to kill the Darkseer when he got the duel off.
Not quite far enough, and now tries to hit the Inkswell stun. GH dances away, but unable to hit the back.
It's got another chance.
The slight chains combination is so obnoxious. Here comes another round. These supports are getting ripped apart.
Pikachu really wants a duel right now. If he could get Miracle, who doesn't have his Lincolns quite yet, once he gets Lincolns, this game's going to be a lot more difficult for Cyber Legacy. That means they have to get him with the spear. Yeah.
Go again. Just jump right in. They know where NIGMA is. He's already dead. Hook shot blocked there. GH is going to die. So immediately the lasso is going to be dispelled by press the attack. Pikachu's been quite fast on that. Unfortunately, they're not able to poke out far enough to kill the wards.
Non-stop 5-on-5 action.
It is 16 to 36, 10,000 net worth lead. But it feels like a very close game, man. But Miracle just keeps on doing it to him. The Will-O-Wisp going to make sure that Happy is unable to get away. He's going to keep on getting slight chain to press the attack, but it's chained into the Will-O-Wisp stun. Miracle going for it, but he gets silenced. Though that is an ultimate used.
This is insane pressure from NIGMA.
Dude, Cyber Legacy, they don't even wait for Happy to heal up. They're going to push out, get the wards. Palantimos leading the way, feeling like with no Will-O-Wisp, they can confidently take this team fight. Another hook shot. Gonna miss from GH. Vacuum up to the high ground. Last hero, he's stuck there, but he still can go for the arena. And the spear, it misses, but he gets knocked down by the flame break. Back up by the keeps on going up and down. Palantimos, meanwhile, inside the cross. They didn't give the duel line. They can turn and help out. They need to be able to kill Rina as quick as possible. The Soulbind was locked on a Mind Control as well, but Pikachu needs to back away. Miracle, though, they haven't dealt with Miracle. He needs to primary damage to him. He's doing so much work with a slight change over and over again. The Inkswell stun onto 3 potentially, but jump away from Miracle. He managed to dodge that. He wants the kill onto Palantimos, and he wants it bad. A stroke to slow him down, but Palantimos, he doesn't have a doppelganger, and he's got Spirit Vessel. He's dead. And with him gone, no mana burn. Miracle is free to play inside the enemy base. Inkswell, no, he's going to be dying. their base, but he's going to get swept up in that tide as well. 17-40 now.
Guys,
as NIGMA have not
you haven't taken a tier 2. What are you doing?
They can go to mid lane. They've got 50 seconds on Big Num, another 20 for the 2 cores.
Who needs farm? Who needs to take towers when you can just dive their base repeatedly?
Dude, they haven't even finished up their tier 2 items yet.
No, they're actually just, I've never seen, all right, this is even taking it insanely far.
Yeah, in no tell, we'd be like, whoa, guys.
Guys, relax. You should probably at least farm out all your tier 2 items. It's been a few minutes, you have complete map control. But they're just gonna go for it again. Look at Weehaw.
Thinking about
He doesn't even have vision. He's just walking up that hill.
Yeah.
Just seeing what's there for him.
He's having a grand old time. That's what he's doing.
Just keep fighting.
Poor GH though. Jesus. My man is having an off game on the hooks.
It's okay. The cog pushback up was worth it. That was so sad for Zero.
Take down. I'm free. Back up. No.
That was a whirlwind of events for him. Really roller coaster. As Weehaw is just running around in their base with Firefly.
God, if they get one BKB on the side of Cyber Legacy,
Where will they farm that though?
I don't know. He's the only one who's allowed to farm right now. As they were all watching him hit ancient creeps for a second. And Palantimos is wandering around like, how am I going to get my Manta now? You killed the only neutral creeps we could hit. Here comes Weehaw flying forward, Prestige attack. God damn, Pikachu. He is so quick on that.
Now they're playing the map control game. I think they probably realized not picking up any of the neutral items might be a mistake.
That was a rocket flare. That was...
oh, they know?
They ran right over Palantimos. And he's trying to desperately block the hook from GH. Burns him out of his mana, so he's safe. But they're going to run back in. They're like, guys, they made their gankers try and kill Palantimos. Let's see if we can catch them. Sadly, they're not quite clean enough on the move.
Their ward vision is pretty decent too. They do have vision in this side of the jungle.
Yeah.
So if they want to fight, they want to fight under this ward, ideally.
Oh, this would be a massive kill. Remember Kuro bought back earlier. Palantimos spots him.
He's got a 4-step down there.
Pikachu is going to go for it. Oh, the hook shot gets him away. And Happy Fiora in trouble. They actually have the spear that lands onto him. Pushback on the H-Swell. Back in though. Inside the arena though. It's Miracle. He jumps out to be able to finish off Happy. A duel inside the arena onto mind control, but they have no damage to be able to follow it up. A Soulbind up, but it doesn't matter. They keep on chasing forward. Miracle is able to land the spear back. Palantimos about half health right now. Doppelganger up in a second. Needs to be able to get out of Happy. Bobback is now into this with a spirit siphon, chasing down Miracle. They need this kill badly. Miracle, oh, he gets away from Pikachu. He's going to be fine. Happy tries to slow him down, but not good enough. A nuke goes out, but Miracle's still fine. And look at him. He's up around into the team right now. They're going to be vacuumed together with another slide. That's one. Everything's well done, but he gets chained and pushed away. A triple kill for mind control as they all get swallowed up in just a hellhole of damage and ion shells and fire.
The timing of that was so rough for Cyber Legacy. Really well done by NIGMA. Kuro just waited on the low ground, got a really nice ulti, and on top of that, GH hooks right past as the Legion Commander comes in for the duel with the Blade Mail on. Miracle just dances around them non-stop.
Imagine if they spotted Kuro.
Yes.
First.
They were inches away from getting to him.
And now, NIGMA finally slaughtered Cyber Legacy. Enough times. You had to kill him 46 times in 30 minutes before you could go high ground, but they will manage to take a tier 3. Can they finish up this barracks, though? Still have their 5-man. Weehaw's going to join him here. Pipe quickly gets burned through. Pikachu trying to go for Blink here, but is found that disabled by the Slight. It's constantly coming up from Miracle, but the Lightning's the Soulbind. Actually managed to grab Miracle here. The bolt could be inhibited, slowed down by that Diffusal Blade. But again, not enough to be able to make the jump. There was no duel opportunity for Pikachu, and he's going to find that his Blink Dagger is going to be used defensively here. Now Weehaw is going to be pulled back in. They used the press the attack earlier, and look at him go. Four step, and last year is out on an island on his own, but a double silence onto Miracle. even falls. They call the GG. 26,000 net worth lead. We had a total of 69 kills.
Nice. 51 kills though for NIGMA. When you put it together like that, it might sound like
5 seconds. It's Dire's turn to ban.
that song, that wonderful song that tells me that more ESL 1 LA action is about to come back as we have game number 2 of NIGMA versus Cyber Legacy. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm Dakota, joined once again by Grant and BSJ to bring you all the action. Gentlemen, game number 1. It was a royal freaking rumble, man.
It really was. You know, shout to WrestleMania that just happened. That's what it looked like. It was the Boneyard match, and The Undertaker did end up taking it in Team NIGMA. Hope I didn't just spoil that for somebody. My bad if I did. But, you know, should have watched it live.
Certainly people are going to be salty now about that one. Now we got to look at what the change-up's going to be, BSJ, for game number 2 and what Cyber Legacy are going to be doing about it. We already have a draft ready to go. Tell me now, what's going on?
I don't mind the Batrider ban. I don't mind picking a faster paced support in the first round. You know, you pick this Death Prophet Mars with the intent to potentially mix it up. They picked this Batrider. I thought that was a really potent pick because it does force you into one of these save heroes. They ban out the Oracle, so then all of a sudden you're forced to go for this Legion. I was like, it's going to be really awkward if they don't have a save against a second pick Bat. They elect to pick that last pick Legion. Then you have this 4 DP. I think that's something that may work in pubs, but I think it's just too slow. You need a 4 that stuns and hits people.
And we'll see, because I think they will learn, especially, you know, Bignum, he has been around the block as well, so I think you'll see, they banned the Coddle. Just, what's other quick-paced 5?
They're going to forget.
They banned Chen last game.
They're going to forget something like the Wisp.
IO. Oh, so IO and Chen are still in there.
I feel like Coddle's just a better version of IO. You don't give heal, but you have some sort of save in regards to like the counter initiation.
You're better in the lanes,
and then you just give a bajillion mana as opposed to the heal. In most carries right now, because of the headdress and rings of regens and all that value items you can buy, the health regen is really not that big of a deal, and they do elect to ban out the IO anyways. So
yeah, the only real difference would be, now if Coddle still had his recall, then yeah, he'd have everything. But you know, Wisp at least allows the core to farm up and bring him in. But if NIGMA are going to be running this go at you style, no farming on the side, then yeah, it's like, why even bother going for Wisp? Liquid might be, or not Liquid, NIGMA might be like, if we're going to commit to this new very aggressive style, we might just opt to pass on something like the Whisper.
Did we actually look at what the final last hit count was last game?
I did not like the last hit.
I'd be really fascinated to know
if anyone was above 100 besides Ember and PL.
Well, you're probably gonna hit 100, but you know it's pretty standard for carries to have 250, 300 by 30 or 35 minutes, and I don't think anyone was close to that. Only one person above 200 CS that entire game, so.
And a 33-minute game is crazy,
That says a whole lot. Thank you, Cap. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Statsman Cap, always on the boards and on the side, you know, ready to throw some random shit for us. I think they're thinking between, are they gonna first pick Chen? What do we do if they do? Or do we just ban it? What are their first pick heroes
really
there?
That scary?
I don't think so, but it seems the teams themselves think so, right? It's been first banned, and when it's not, it is still first pick.
There was that one meta like a year ago where everyone was picking Darkseer, and I was like, why is everyone picking Darkseer? It had like a 2-8 win rate. I feel like that's what that's the impression I get when I watch Chen, but they do ban it, and they go back, run it back, says Cyber Legacy, but
it's way better.
Maybe don't get too cute. Just leave it mid, potentially core in the side lanes, but not a support.
Yeah, but it's your first pick now, and that means that NIGMA could just, you know, pick anything they want to go against it here.
They could do Oracle. Oh, okay. So you could do Oracle.
I think you almost have to take Oracle, right? Or else they get it.
Yeah,
you have to.
Oh, the Oracle A. That's a bit of a passive support duo.
That's very passive support
But at the same time, is it a potentially core AA? Is that a Weehaw hero? Has he ever played?
I mean, Weehaw's one of those guys who will play the random heroes. He definitely has played it. I actually, even more than once, I think 2 or 3 times, but I wonder if it matches up well against DP, because I could see Weehaw just say, give me the 1-to-1 counter, it's AA.
Yeah, because like GH, I don't imagine playing either of these.
I don't, you're not wrong there.
Like, if they are both supports, all 3 of your cores need to have some sort of stun aggressive move to them. Maybe you get like a bristleback type hero, hear me out, something that can just stand in the front lines and set up all the other stuff. But otherwise, the problem with these 2 heroes is they are beautiful enablers. Oracle with saves and the heal, AA with the damage, but neither neither of them actually do anything on their own. So both of them, you need one that capitalizes on the heals and saves in terms of aggression, and you need one to set up for the Ancient Apparition's damage output. And then maybe a Dangler, as I said.
Yeah, gotta dangle it. They banned the Husker, obviously. They're not going to pick it themselves, but it's a Weehaw hero, and you don't want to give it to them.
You also have to consider banning for the last pick overall right now, because sometimes in the past you had extra bans later, so you didn't have to worry all last pick ban, but now definitely in a concern that if you're first pick, I think you're primarily banning for the cheese picks later, such that you can pick heroes that are bad against Huskar kind of thing.
There's the DK.
Okay, there's a great setup stun for the Ancient Apparition already.
One of the few heroes who doesn't mind DP middle either. I know you know Spirit Sign percentage, but until the late game, you don't mind it too much. You're still gonna last hit. DK will never not last hit.
A lot of DP's harass actually comes from Spirit Siphoning and hitting you.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really affect DK all that
it's
much.
not as impactful. Even though it feels like it should be because he's a strength hero, his E is just
his
so
strength
good.
gain's really not that high. He's mainly known as like a armor tank hero. That's how he obviously is tanky.
Once he gets to 25 strength, that's when he like turns into it. He's like,
compared
now
to like
I'm
a
strong.
centaur, though, his strength gain's not nearly that high.
Do you know what it is?
I'd say if I had to guess, it's 3.2.
2.7.
Is it actually?
No. I don't know.
Somebody get a fact check on that.
How do you
Blitz.
keep falling for this?
Blitz, what's Dragonite's strength gain? You have the Dota client.
You're on in front of a computer, Blitz. What are you doing?
2.6? Oh, 3.6. Okay, I was way
guess
closer.
he does. No, he does. That's
Well,
pretty big strength game, BSJ. You're looking suspect here.
Hey, you know what? It's not Centaur's 4.5, okay?
It's not. It's not.
Speaking of big,
oh,
That is
big
higher than
strength
I thought it
gain
was,
too,
alright?
me too, actually. I thought.
Yeah,
it was low.
strength gain, or I think Earth Spirit strength gain actually got buffed like
It's like
2 or 3.
4 now, right?
Yeah.
This
like
boy's
nice
strong,
3.6.
yeah.
He's like, oh.
I mean, look at his rock muscles. I mean, he deserved it.
You don't get
Always
that buff
mentioned.
without some strength. Let's be honest here.
But
Blitz is lying. It's like 1.5 on DK for sure.
it does
No way
mean
that high.
it's. I really hope it's not that like support Death Prophet again. When they pick Earth Spirit here, though, it kind of makes me feel.
It was actually a 4 position Death Prophet
the
played
off
from the
lane,
safe lane that
Or
game.
safe lane, sorry.
So I don't think they're gonna do 5 DP. I think it's DP Earth Spirit's like a classic duo in the mid lane. You have the Spirit Siphon aggression.
You have kill potential now.
Yeah, so I think it's almost certainly a 2 DP in a 4 Earth Spirit. You don't really have to do this flex stuff as a first pick because you don't have that overall last pick potency. Something that I thought Alliance was doing wrong with their drafts was when they were second pick, it was very obvious what role that absolute last pick was going to be. On the other hand, for NIGMA here, DK, all 3 core roles, we've seen it. So that like right there, they already have some flexibility in their lanes.
So if the flexibility is still available, is there any chance that NIGMA could cheese him? No Meepo was banned at all this time.
I'm down for some cheese.
So they could possibly creep in something like
Maybe
a
some
Meepo or
Gouda.
cheese.
Yeah.
I think Meatball will get last banned. They banned it last time as well.
Was it?
But they weren't. I thought so because I thought it was. No, you're right. It was in that 4th or that 5th ban.
Could still be last ban. Though. You're right.
You gotta be if you're not the last pick. It's definitely like you have to remember, and you can't just pick a team that's bad.
It might go like
Meepo.
Wraith King or Sven or something here. Seems weird, but low cooldown
Sven.
stuns.
Okay.
Whenever I see AA, you want to stun, but if it's a safe lane DK, they're just gonna go. Okay, Jug.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Okay.
So it almost is certainly their support duo that they revealed.
Yeah. The biggest fan of, but
Jug makes use of the saves more so than anyone, and you have probably decent kill potential on Centaur. We talked about Centaur. They picked it into Oracle. You can purge retaliate stacks.
You know what funny support interaction here, and I feel like you
What is
never
it?
get to see because you don't get to see Oracle AA together, is if AA does land the Ice Blast, you could just Purifying Flames.
Oh yeah, it doesn't.
Stop.
Yeah.
And at level 4, it's
forgot about
good
that.
damage.
It's
So you could
360,
just
360 damage.
and suddenly you get 3 instant nukes and they can't heal at all.
I forgot about that.
So
You're
it's,
right.
It's a lot of heavy burst damage. You don't
Ouchies.
see the supports together too often, but it is pretty funny and
That's
good
potent.
interaction. The other thing, and a note for Earth Spirit, if NIGMA still want to run at you, it might be a good idea. I mean, Earth Spirit sucks when you have to like keep fighting over and over again. It feels like you run out of Remnant Stones so fast, and like after one big fight, you're like, wait, I don't have any more stones left. I
What do
can't
I
do
do?
anything.
You're not wrong.
So, you know, I wonder if that is intriguing at all to NIGMA, or if they even have the lineup to support a continue run at you style. Their heroes can do it. They have low cooldowns, but we'll see.
I'm not a huge fan of Jug versus DP, but I'm sure it's just about the lane matchup versus Centaur. Most of your damage on Jug is from spin, rather than having to rely on right-clicking him.
And by the way, NIGMA used all their time that last pick. They are down to 2 seconds reserve time, and now Cyber Legacy as well, using all of it. I've noticed in EUCS especially, they actually go through, I don't know why, but they go through every single second of it. Meanwhile, I was watching NA and SCA, and they're just like ending with 2 minutes reserve. I'm like, I don't know what that says. It's just maybe they're
That's
bigger
confidence.
brained.
You don't have to think about it when you're just confident in what you're doing. You know? Okay.
DK Juggernaut, I like it.
Very few stuns as well, so
Yeah.
Razor movement speed hero, always good against no stuns.
Yeah, no movement abilities really at all on NIGMA. Like any support gets leashed up, or even a core, like how are you gonna bail them out?
You're also a natural Yules builder, which is really good against the AA Jug, like against the Omni Slash, against the AA combo. Yules dodge it. Pretty much everything other than the DK stun you can see coming, which makes Yules a much better item, and Razor loves building that item.
They think it's a 5 DP. They banned the Void.
Oh, they think it's mid Razor.
I mean, I always hate last picking 5, but
where does the DK go here? Because if he's not carry, which you have a Jug, then Razor can just follow him, right? Razor can go safe lane or mid, either way. And I don't think Cyber Legacy is gonna do DP 5 Razor 1. That there's no way. They're gonna pick like an Ogre or something here. I'm pretty sure.
Man. They tried to sneak it through, like they might not.
Could mind control DK and then creep in Meepo?
Yeah, definitely.
But they won't even give them the opportunity.
They just have to pick a stun here, or like either that or like a melee 5. Like even Undying could be good, oddly enough.
For Cyber?
Yeah, just something to lane with the Razor that also shuts down the DK. But like if they put the DK mid, then you just put the Razor mid and DP safe. So you want I think you want a melee support that can support these two heroes.
What's a melee that can like break leash easily also?
Why do you need to break leash?
Isn't that a problem in the laning phase? I feel like that's a pretty good
No, I'm saying for Cyber Legacy here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're talking about the Razor leash, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, last time we saw Connell against the Razor, I will tell you to never pick Razor into Connell against competent players.
Banjo.
And they go Venge. That was not at all what I expected. I think that's very good hero versus Jug in concept. You have a ton of single target physical damage. Now you have 2 charges of a BKB piercing disable, so there's no such thing as spin TPing.
Well, they don't got much time to pick here because they used all their reserve. They got 10 seconds.
It's also a safe for DP.
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't have many like 4-staff candidates or anything on NIGMA's side too. Like who's going to help create space for the team?
Okay. Well, they're just playing a completely different game. They have completely swapped how they're playing on NIGMA's side.
Here's why you need a melee support. I'm pretty sure Nature's Prophet is going to wreak havoc against 2 ranged heroes in the bottom lane. So what they might have to do or top lane, excuse me, because they're Radiant. They might have to do like a Centaur solo safe lane, and like do like Razor Venge off lane with, roaming or Spirit roaming between lane mid and bottom. Otherwise, I don't think the lane orientation makes any sense for Cyber Legacy. They're just going to struggle against this Nature's Prophet. I like this draft better for Cyber than I did last game, but based on what we saw, I have to go with NIGMA again. The pace of the game is so fast again.
It is. I think once it's DK, it is going to be the Weehaw DK. I'm still waiting. Sorry, I'm waiting for like Cyber Legacy. I want to see if it is the DP or the Razor. It will be Carry Razor.
Yeah, Carry Razor.
Yeah, I just, after watching game 1, I actually gave a little bit to Cyber Legacy because I actually kind of liked their draft last game. I liked it. I'm the opposite of BSJ. I like this draft less. I think Mind Control, as you said, is just going to take over this game. We always going to push towers at 15 minutes. How do you slow them down? You lose one team fight with Earthspear Death Prophet. You lose the game.
I do feel like they weren't considering their laning stage at all, picking Venge. If you've ever played a ranged carry like Razor, you do not want a squishy ranged hero in your lane with you. So that's where I'm worried. Whatever they do, that Nature's Prophet lane is going to be crazy.
Mind Control is going to carry this game is what it sounds like we both think. Yeah, I think Mind Control is he will be that MVP this game if NIGMA wins. On the other side, how do you win it? Well, you just got to group up. You need to win Earthspear Death Prophet. They need to do okay middle, and you just got to push towers and hope.
Yep, lots of questions, lots of hope potentially here. We'll have to see if that's going to pan out for Cyber Legacy or not. Let's throw things over to our premier casters. We have Blitz and Capitalist.
after getting blitzed so many times in game 1, Cyber Legacy have decided to shore up on their early game. A carry Razor amid Death Prophet. This is, they're prepared for this first 20 minutes this time, Blitz.
Play fast.
Play fast.
Play extremely fast.
It seems like to me, NIGMA have slowed it down perhaps a little bit. It seems our odds are going to be about the same. People watching that game 1, nothing has changed in their mind.
No.
Anything changed for you based off the draft?
Still think I prefer NIGMA's lineup. I do think it is a very good Razor game. I think he if he has a really good laning phase, I think he can run over this game. Like, he has 2 good core matchups. Neither of the supports hurt him too bad when he gets BKB, so it's up to them to kind of slow down the pace. And they have better wave clear and better ways to split push this time on the side of Cyber Legacy. Like, they have Earth Spirit who can just like run around, kill waves, pull waves, cut waves. Like, that's what you need to do against this kind of aggressive, fast play style.
And what do you think about the support Death Prophet from last game? It was a weird support Death Prophet game for sure, just because there was so much aggression.
I think the idea was you pick Death Prophet and you trick NIGMA into countering it early. Because normally if you show me your mid hero, I'll show you mine after that, because there's no reason to hold out once you see like the rough matchup, especially if your team like NIGMA, who like to let Miracle have like the best possible game. So if they can get away with just showing their mid early, I think that's the idea. But of course it was a trick, it was a ruse. And I think that part is kind of cool, but you're still kind of stuck with the 4 Death Prophet.
Yeah. And here, they do not pull the same ruse. You can't do that same trick twice. So they're going to be sticking it with the mid Death Prophet. They still left the option available, but in the end, they did chose Happy's hero to be Vengeful Spirit. So they do have a save mechanism for the Death Prophet this time around, but I still anticipate a quick pace to be ran by NIGMA once that exorcism is ever put on cooldown. Got some longer cooldowns on NIGMA too. We've got the Dragonite Dragon Form and the Juggernaut Omni Slash. It looks like they are going to be running the DK in the side lane here, and Miracle is going to be playing mid against the Death Prophet. So probably a little bit better, I would imagine, for both sides. DK has the tankiness that he can deal with Centaur's harassment, and Juggernaut has magic immunity.
Yes, sir.
So he'll be able to... it's a hard hero to gank mid, and Cyber Legacy does have Big Num playing the Earth Spirit, so something that could have come into context. A roll in and a kick back onto somebody like the Dragonite into a Spirit Siphon might actually lead to an early death, but Juggernaut significantly harder to tank.
Let me get it out of the way. Buyout, buyout, buyout. Now I have to remember buyback.
So the reason that you say buyout?
It's because everybody on my stupid team says it. I hate Swedes. They force me, when you hang around people too often, you know, you take like their mannerisms and like the things that they say, and everyone on our team just knows to do the same thing. So we're just idiots. But I'm on a broadcast, so I should be better.
Yeah,
it's not something to like belittle.
I know that because you started saying jikes.
Jikes. It's because my team.
What is wrong with your team? They're a bunch of goobers.
They say yim and jikes. I don't know. Our team's just stupid. Shout outs to the boys.
Aggro tri-lane from NIGMA, they have Kuro and GH, Oracle and Ancient Apparition. A support duo that I don't think you really see too often. Do they actually think this aggro tri-lane is going to be strong? Is it about giving DK solo lane?
I think it's about giving DK a solo lane when they know he's going to be strong. And then you'll rotate somebody mid, I think, to try to kill. Sort of think like all 3 of the lanes are going to go okay though on the side of NIGMA. Like the change up from putting DK mid against putting Jug mid. Like Jug's pretty strong mid laner. Like he has really good base damage. He has a way to clear a wave, but
Blade Fury on cooldown, so
you gotta be careful here.
He takes advantage of that.
Like Jug's 2 abilities are really good for mid lane, but his big problem is he doesn't have the mana to support either of them really. Like he gets to cast them once and then it's just done.
I'm curious why they cut the creep wave. Looks like last hero just wants to get the extra added efficiency in lane by pulling it into neutrals, similar to the way a Darkseer would. So now I think Big Num is trying to get his level 2 before he rotates.
Yes, sir.
but we'll see where he goes with that. If he feels comfortable going mid against the B03 Juggernaut, or no, he goes top, and this is probably the better option. You have some squishy heroes here. Palatimos is... Oh no, they didn't actually get the stun after Bignum. Looks like it won't make a difference though. They still get that first blood, and everyone's quite pretty healthy on Cyber Legacy. GH turns around, does some damage to Bignum, but they have to run away from Palatimos.
Yeah, let me... their mid lane and their bottom lane will go okay. I think this top lane, if they actually decide to tri-lane on tri-lane, I think they straight up lose.
It's a weird ass tri-lane, that's for sure.
It is a very odd tri-lane. It's stun, no real nuke, kind of harass-ish tri-lane. 3 squishy heroes. Yeah, with like limited kill potential. But I think they just favor giving DK solo XP. This is going to give Centaur solo XP too. So it kind of evens out, I would say.
Miracle's taking a lot of damage from Pikachu. Every single time I look to that mid lane, they're even in CS though.
It's just because Pikachu can more efficiently harass Miracle.
Yeah.
Miracle has very limited kill potential on Death Prophet. Whereas like Death Prophet, I don't think he kills the Jug here unless Miracle messes up. But he's sure gonna get right clicked a lot.
Hopefully that leads into burning through some of his net worth. A nice kickback there from Bignum. Now Happy is getting a little bit low. They try and finish him off. In fact, they didn't get
this would be big? No, just a trade-off.
Just a trade-off. Well, Palatimos, he needs his Wraith Band and a little bit more mana anyway, so maybe the Vengeful Spirit can carry that in for him. Boy, just mid lane. Oh, no, he died. Miracle.
All right, I didn't think that would happen, but it did.
He tried to push the limits a bit too much, and Crypt Swarm just barely did enough damage.
Dude, Oracle's base damage is really bad.
Oh, yeah.
I just saw him hit the range creep after the tower hits it twice, and he didn't get it.
Yep.
I didn't even realize it was that terrible.
Yep. Techies and Oracle are like the 2 heroes that cannot pre-hit once.
Really?
To prep a range creep.
That's so silly.
I mean, Oracle has really good BATs, so
yes,
GH in the top lane, and he is going to be gone on and very quickly killed. This is just going to be a non-stop story of the top lane, I believe. Meanwhile, last hero is the top CS in the game right now. He's Ring of Health, and he's doing that thing we're talking about. He keeps on farming the easy camp. That's why he has the highest.
I like that.
Oh, bounty rune.
DK can't stop him from doing this. Happy's getting really low. Gotta be careful here, but...
Here comes Palatimos. Palatimos got to get away from that cold feed. Now, he's getting a bit low, and he doesn't actually have static link up. Maybe they can turn. Now that it's up, Mind Control is going to get kicked, Magic Missiled, and finished off Palatimos. Oh, he's going to die, actually. They are trading kills back and forth at top lane, and I feel like they should just be getting that out without trading anything.
Yeah, that one was not bad at all for NIGMA. I think that kill is well worth it. That Razor doesn't have a lot of CS to begin with. That is one thing. The Razor's not getting a lot of farm, despite getting some kills and having some pretty good action.
GH is going to go a fast Rod of Atos. Which is pretty interesting. Last hero showing up with... Oh, okay. This is interesting. They are like... You remember when NIGMA just ran at us all game? Let's do something similar here. We're going to use the exorcism now. Can they get too aggressive? Pikachu already down to half health, and Miracle does not have his Omni-Slash just yet, so he's going to be able to play away from him. Miracle's really low. Happy Diarry nice not able to finish him off. On the right-hand side, Mind Control being gone up by both Mignum and Last Hero, but he's traded out for the bench. Now Pikachu is back into it, but a big nuke comes out for the Oracle. A roll in right onto Weehaw. He's already taken the double damage as well. Weehaw will end up falling here, and Cyber Legacy, now they say we're the ones who have stronger early game, and we're going to run at you as much as possible.
Ooh. I like this. They decided it's our turn to 5-man. You guys did it to us last game. This time we'll do it to you. A lot of different heroes filtering in. And I think that works because Miracle can't fight. Like, his hero is not strong enough right now. He doesn't even have boots.
It was a cool timing too. Like, he wasn't level 6 when they did it. The Centaur was really farmed, so he was able to take now. Is a brief lag spike. 3 3-7. Cyber Legacy have taken the mid tower, so they do hold the net worth lead and anticipate more towers to fall soon. The last hero with that Vanguard can freely tank tower shots in the bottom lane.
Yeah, last game we saw Cyber Legacy have a very good laning phase and get run over anyways. This time I'd like to see them take a little bit more initiative, and it seems like they're really doing that. Like, that mid move, can't stress how much I like that. They took advantage of the situation, and if they could even hold this tower, I'd like to see Centaur rotate in. He's the strongest hero, I think, on the map right now, and the best equipped to deal with this. I don't think that Pikachu should just be left here to die.
Well, he was left there to die.
I really think he should have TP'd.
Yeah, he's going to TP now to protect his tower, but he didn't protect his core. And Happy is in a little awkward position, but mind control's in a worse one. They do manage to at least punish NIGMA for that play.
I think they could have saved the Death Prophet too, though. If Centaur TP's in early, I don't think they make that move on him.
For sure.
You want to, it's not just about protecting the tower, guys. It's that you can get more out of that situation, because if the enemy team, like if NIGMA loses their mid tower and they try to press into it to get their own mid tower, and they don't get that tower, there's nowhere for them to go. Like, you're wasting a lot of time. It sacrifices a little bit of farm, but you're better off for it in the long haul.
Okay, so they grouped up mid, but they actually smoked 3 of them. They're going to show the Centaur because he has Stampede. No, he's like, I got be in that bottom lane. They're going to roll forward, but the smoke breaking. They know someone's around here. It looks like they might be able to find him. He's stuck in the corner. Oh, no! They didn't know. There's a little hiding spot right behind the tree there, and he gets away. That is a failed rotation for Cyber Legacy. They're going to try and turn this into a tower push, but...
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a really cool move, but Mind Control did a really nice job scouting with his Treant. Well done by them. And Cyber Legacy is still in the lead. All their cores are still doing okay. I'd say this Razor's not doing too hot, but Pikachu is going to take this bottom tower, and I'd like to see Cyber Legacy rotate somebody back mid. I think this bottom move was really bad if they don't save this mid tower.
Like, to get the bottom tower, but Pikachu's going to be caught by Kuro and snared up for a moment. Now surrounded by Mind Control while they roll on to the mid lane. DK's going to be gone on. Looks like Death Prophet's going to die at bottom, so they need this kill on a Weehaw, and it looks like they should have it. Mirrored movements as they both try and gank a core. Weehaw is so tanky that he may actually be able to get away from this. A last shot from the Razor is enough damage, though. Palantimos pops out of the jungle and does manage to get a big kill.
They do grab the tower, though. And they saved their mid tower, and they killed Weehaw. I think that's pretty worth.
Especially since you said this DK is going to be really powerful this game, right?
Yeah, I think this DK could potentially have a very good game.
75 gold for the boy, Palantimos.
But it's Cyber Legacy just trying to grab all the tier 1 towers.
Yeah.
I do think last hero should push his limits a little bit more, though. Like, I don't think it should have been Death Prophet at bottom. I think it could have been him. And I think that he needs to be more prepared to TP mid. I feel like if he's mid with his cloak and his Vanguard Bracer Wand, there's absolutely no way that NIGMA want to make that play.
Is it like is he getting pulled apart too much?
No,
by this Furion, or it's just a bad judgment?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
I think you just don't want to use your TP ever. You just want to run there as soon as you see the push coming.
Right.
Like, wherever the DK goes, you know that's where the rest of the team wants to go.
Oh, they almost got him. They got a silence on him, Spirit Siphon, but this is way too deep to try and gank a Dragonite of all heroes.
Yeah, but they brought DK towards them, and now just rotate mid. Exactly. Bring the Centaur here. This is what I want to see.
Happy. He's gone on by Mind Control.
And look at this. Like, Miracle just ignores him because he knows he can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I think you have to have this hero here at all times now. Just bring in last hero and have him push out the wave, save his TP, and whenever they try to TP or they push towards mid, then you TP. Like, that's the only time I think that's Centaur TPs in this game.
Do you think you ignore the side lane towers from here on out? Like, it's one of those things. You're gonna lose them to Furion eventually.
I think you can push really deep on this Centaur, that's why.
Okay.
Like, he can push this wave right here, and then he could rotate to the rest of his team and save his TP. Is the way that I think would be, like, perfect play.
Okay.
He's doing a pretty good job, I'd say. But if he wants to be, like, 100% optimal, that's like BSJ, you know, or Purge min-max it, that's what I think he should do.
Okay.
And now I think he's starting to, like, pick up the pace and understand. It's just a different game that he's getting into now.
Yeah. Cyber Legacy definitely put them out of their element last game. which was a very different kind of Dota game, all that aggression. Taking a page out of OG's TI.
Mask of Madness?
GH is going to be down here. Team's managed to catch him with the plasma field. He just throws what damage he can. Stampede going out. They actually want more here. The Dragonite TPing away. Once again, dude, these TPs from NIGMA, they just keep on getting just out of the hands of Cyber Legacy every time.
I heard BSJ go, oh, as he rounded the corner. Just barely got away. They're doing a good job, though, of saving their mid tower. These Treants.
Damn Treants, though. It's now deniable.
Get him.
Pikachu missed some CS. They have drums. They have, well, Yule still to be built by Pikachu, but he does have the save from Happy now that he's level 6. They're gonna go for a smoke up. Is it time? It's time.
All right, you need to have somebody mid, though.
Yeah.
I can't stress this enough. If you weren't gonna deny this tower, then that means you had every intention of defending it.
Palantimos should make his way over there, and he will.
Oh no, he's farming the jungle. Don't farm the jungle right now.
Okay, they're gonna glyph it. Oh, they're gonna smoke up into the Razor. They see this good opportunity, a 2-for-1 special. Take the tower and maybe kill the Razor too. But at the same time, Cyber Legacy's right behind him. They break the smoke, and GH now knows that everyone's here. They're gonna quickly kill the tower, but not before the Centaur gets his team. Yeah, let's stop. Immediately on a Pikachu, and he almost gets blown up right away. The swap is not good enough to save him. Last Hero running around, unsure what to do. The spin on Miracle is gonna allow him to be able to get away, but Palatimo stays last to him. Unfortunately, Oracle, no, he's not able to save him in time. He had the ensnare, but it wasn't good enough. Weeha's going to be bailed out by the Oracle. Enough damage is there to be able to kill the Razor, and now most of the damage from Cyber Legacy is gone, but not quite enough as maybe Kuro. Scrap going out. Looks like he should die. One hit from Last Hero is all it takes, but he doesn't have the movement speed. Big Num's going to be left behind. Now Last Hero runs back. He's blocked up by the Trance all the way. He's tired of it. Stampede. He wants GH. He'll have him too, but he'll die unless the swap can save him. Oh, a swap and a stun from Happy, but now he's the one being blocked by Trance, and he also cannot kill Kuro, nor can his illusion. Kuro survives again and again and again on just 20 HP. Last Hero. I don't know what you can do here, bud. Well, Pikachu, actually. Pikachu's coming in from the side with an Invincible and Spirit Siphon. Oh, no, it broke. He doesn't have the slow on mind control anyway. Once again, they're going to get away. How many times can they keep doing this?
Apparently like 6 or 7 times, because that was the second time that the Venge died, respawned in, died. And I think it really comes down to, and I know I'm harping on him and probably being a little bit too harsh, but I think the Centaur has to be mid and not top. I think the Razor smokes up with the rest of his team. Like, you can see right here that the Centaur's TPing in, but it's too late. Like, he needs to be the one tanking the stun AAA Ice Blast.
Also, Pikachu and Vengeful Spirit, they're in, like, awkward places there.
Yeah, because they're walking up the high ground. If anything, I think you walk on the left side of the river up the path to where your tower used to be, because if you walk up into that choke, it's really easy for a GH to just get an ulti off into everybody. I mean, they just got kited.
They have to be able to see where GH throws his Ice Blast.
Exactly. You can't let him set up on multiple heroes. Like, usually Ice Blast only, unless you have like a Faceless Void, it usually only hits on one target, because it's really hard to backpedal with that hero and take fights like that. But if you walk up in the high ground into him, then it's real nice and easy.
Well, that same fight would have been a lot easier with the Yule Scepter. It's now up on Pikachu. The Rod of Atos complete for GH. 4-man, make it 5-man rotation. It's going to be Palatimo spotted, but they have managed to get on top of Weeha. Once it's going to go out. This is a fight that they are just going to get run over, both figuratively and literally, with the Stampede being used. Kuro saves himself, trying to do enough damage to Pikachu. Pikachu does take out, so at least they got something out of that. But still a good fight for Cyber Legacy, a good rotation for them. Oh man, he just got his level 10 talent too. If he had the magic resistance before, he would have lived.
Was it that close?
It was that close. It was like the last, I think it was the second to last tick that killed him.
That sucks. Pikachu has not had that fun of a game. Feels like he just keeps getting Ice Blasted. Last Heroes had a very good game.
I never thought about this combination.
What?
You don't normally see Oracle, Ancient Apparition.
Oh yeah, Dakota pointed it out.
He just freely uses Purifying Flames?
I meant
Oh,
Dakota. Yeah, he was saying it's a pretty good interaction. That's my analyst right there, Dakota.
11 and 15, Cyber Legacy are up by 2,000 net worth. What's our net experience looking at? Similar, another 2K there. But would you say that NIGMA's lineup this time, they're the ones that outscale? Not by a large amount, but
interest profit. I think with the addition of the supports, I think Cyber Legacies might scale a little bit better.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think I think if everyone gets BKBs, it's kind of a hard game for NIGMA to win. Maybe this Jug is like the best overall hero, but AA and Oracle like to play aggressively. Like the Oracle ultimate is best used when you just have a core that can run in for you, and he gets to just sit back. Oracle really hates when people get on top of him, because he just dies in 2 seconds.
That's why the Stampede is so obnoxious for them.
Yeah, it's the same thing for Ancient Apparition. Like Ancient Apparition, it's really hard to like get all your toolkit off and feel like his impact in team fights when he's the one being run at, because most of the time you have to like quick just use your ult on everybody, whereas if your team is the one playing aggressively, like you get a DK stun onto somebody and Ice Blast follows up, you can sit back and all 3 of your cores are just sitting up front, and the 2 cores can just like spell cast from behind. That's when like their support duo will look really strong. But I think as like the game goes on later and later, you get like Glimmer Capes, BKBs, it should be, and like pipes, I think it should be pretty hard for them to deal damage. Whereas I think Earth Spirit and Venge should always be useful in this game.
Okay.
That's how I'm reading it anyways. I could be wrong, and maybe this Jug just takes over. I've seen Miracle carry from like weirder positions.
Yeah. Would you say, so I was looking at more like idealistically, where we get a good Ice Blast and Crow does save somebody with his ultimate.
Yeah, but that's
unrealistic, right?
If you get aggressive, that's how you can play.
Right.
You sometimes, like in Dota, you have like these 2 supports that need to be enabled by being aggressive, like Disruptor. Disruptor is so much better if you get to be aggressive.
Right.
Glimpse is next to useless if you're backpedaling. It's impossible to set up like that Static Storm combo and somebody who's just running at you full speed. But if your team can get the setup, then maybe it's a bit better. I mean, NIGMA's a very veteran team. They're very good, and so I'm sure Mind Control, probably the best prophet in the world. Sorry, Bulldog. He's going to do a really good job of kind of peeling them and never giving them an ideal 5-on-5 fight. And maybe that's how you do it.
Okay.
But I think if it's like a straight clean 5-on-5, Cyber Legacy should get the initiation.
Yeah.
Then I think they should win.
Centaur and Earth Spirit, and they've got 2 other cores that don't mind running in, right?
Exactly.
Razor, Death Prophet.
That's where I'm coming from when I'm saying like one side is better initiation.
Okay.
I think an unreasonable amount of this game will come down to how Mind Control and Weehaw play.
Yeah.
Because Weehaw is really their only like stun. I mean, he is. He's just their only stun. So whoever he finds is going to be the Ice Blast target too, because I mean that's what he's going to set up on. So if he finds like a useless target, like he runs into a Venge or something, he wastes his stun on Venge, then Cyber Legacy is going to just all in go for you.
So the onus is on the best early game team in Dota. NIGMA may have to overplay some of their team fights later on, but for now, they are going to smoke up. Right into Palatinos, manage to lead off with a stun. Ice Blast follow up, and very quickly he dies. No bailout from Cyber Legacy. Our Vengeful Spirit was just a bit too far away, playing more around his Death Prophet. So a simple pickoff for Smoke. NIGMA are able to maintain this 4-man pretty constantly, thanks to the fact they've got a Nature's Prophet, always able to clean up the side lanes. But the Dragon Form's not going to be put to use here on that mid tower. Apparently they don't feel confident enough, and they may try and go for the bottom tier 1 instead. But only a few more seconds are left of the Dragon Form. Cyber Legacy are going to try and time this push with it. They think, yeah, they're going to go to that bottom tier 1 tower. Let's catch them in a team fight while Dragon Form is down. They're going to pop it. Oh, what a stun from last hero, and both the supports just get run over just like that. A Yule Scepter and a swap, both to deny Weehaw from being able to TP away. You could not ask for a more beautiful initiation blitz. That is exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, whoever gets the jump will win the fights. Last hero, again, that couldn't have gone better. He literally found both supports standing right next to each other.
Great ward on that high ground. Even if it dies, it got them the team fight they were searching for, and they're going to play fast, just like NIGMA was doing earlier. They're going to lead off with silence, TPing all up to the top lane to be able to catch mind control. This pesky split pushing off laner should die here, as long as they get the vision. Swap, they break the trees in order to get the vision onto mind control. They get the Yule Scepter as a result on him. Smart play from Happy.
That's really heads up. Really, really heads up play. Nice movements by them. They're playing very quick now. They're adjusting to the tempo from last game is a lot slower. Like NIGMA is not running at them as much, and so now this is like a more normalized Dota game for Cyber Legacy. Like the tempo slowed down, the pace is better for them.
Yeah,
they can make moves around the map at their leisure. Like they can set up smokes with pushing out waves. Like this is probably the most farming that was done all game. Like at the 19-minute mark, as opposed to like 35 minutes of farming last game.
That is an interesting pickup. I would have expected a BKB, but a Blink Dagger for Pikachu.
Okay.
So he really wants to just get into that back line. His AoE silence is really good for that and stuff, and okay, stop in. They're going to be able to manage to find Kuro here, trying to execute him as quick as possible. Ice Blast does go over all his heroes, except for Pikachu. Omni Slash is going to be tanked up by last hero. An unstoppable streak. He had gold 6 times. That is a big one. 700 gold for him. NIGMA looking for a little bit more. Pikachu does not have Exorcism, so this may be an opportunity for NIGMA to get Roshan, especially if they can kill some more heroes with a TP in from Mind Control. They'll find Happy.
I mean, they have 3 very good heroes at Roche. They are under ward vision. They're pinging it anyways. I think this is the right idea.
Gonna try it. Exorcism is up in 7 seconds. They do have that plasma field to throw some damage in, but this could just as easily play against Cyber Legacy. They contest this and they lose this fight. They'll lose their network lead they have. They're gonna go for it. They have it. All that damage raining into the Roshan pin. Pikachu blinking into the other side with his Exorcism out. There's no Omni Slash. There's no damage to be able to threaten him. Force out over to the other side. Weeha's not gonna get away from Palantimos, but he will be saved by Kuro. Managed to get him with a false promise, and that's enough for him to be able to blink away. Kuro will be surrounded by the ghost, but the Roshan is low. Just go into the pit. Oh, never mind. Go for Mind Control. Big enough. A nice long roll in. Finds him in the river. Do they have a stun? They have a swap. That'll stop the TP while Palantimos takes the Aegis. That was so ideal for Cyber Legacy once again.
Oh boy. And I was wondering whose Force Staff that was, and it was actually Weeha's. Weeha has decided to go for a Blink Force Staff build on Dragon Knight.
That is a non-scaling Dragon Knight.
Yeah, he's not going to be a real core. They're putting all their eggs into the Miracle Basket right now.
Well, they've done that plenty of times before, but I'm not entirely sure if I agree with it this game. I mean, the Blink Dagger was sick. It saved his life against the False Promise, but the Force Staff, interesting.
Okay. Force Staff DK. It's a new meta. Let's go.
You think it's like, it's just, no doubt, Force Staff is really good this game, right? You've got both Static Link and Spirit Siphon.
Yes, I think it's a pretty value pickup.
It's a pretty value pickup for sure. And GH didn't go Force Staff. He went the Rod of Atos we talked about earlier. And Kuro doesn't have the money to get a utility item, so somebody's got to get it for the boys. And while Mind Control is building damage, it's Weeha who builds utility. A 3-man smoke up as Miracle's going to join them. It's going to break here. They manage to get the stun lead off. Ice Blast coming in. Can he use Scepter? He will manage to dodge some of the damage, but he still has a proc on him. He won't manage to heal. Swap over to the other side. That is going to be able to get him more with help of Stampede as well. Palantimos thinking, he thought about it. He went for the Spirit Static Link, but it's a good thing he backed off.
Just reset and let your Death Prophet heal, I think.
Yeah.
There's no reason to take a fight when she's at half HP. You have Aegis. Don't throw away your advantage right now, Cyber Legacy.
They use Dragon Form, just wait it out, just like last time. Oh, but they think they can get a sneaky kill on a Miracle. And they will manage to lead up with the stun to follow up the Earth Spirit as well. He's been silent to cost Manta. So the follow-up from the Death Prophet. That was beautiful, but he's going to be saved by Kuro. Spin. I'll tell you what, side to catch GH. That's 3 dead. A roll over. Big Num, what were they searching for? Looks like mind control's out. He's fine. But what a beautiful follow-up silence from Pikachu.
Yeah, that was really well done too by Happy. Multiple swaps there.
This team is looking hot right now, man.
Yes, and that all starts with last hero getting this stun off onto the Juggernaut.
A rare mistake there from Miracle, right?
Yeah, normally I've seen him Manta or spin dodge that so many times.
Yeah.
Like, it's not reasonable to expect it, but I'm just so used to Miracle doing it.
I'm almost a little bit surprised that last hero went for it at all. Just because they had Big Num, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let the
But it worked out.
roll in. But it
100%.
all worked out in the end.
It comes down to NIGMA going for that smoke, it not working, and them still sticking around to try to get something after.
Look at that. Big Num was so ready for that. He popped the roll right away. If he'd been stuck there before the silence.
He's chasing. Do they know? Oh, he gets wrong. That's like the 4th time now they've juked him in those trees.
One of these days, NIGMA, you're not going to be able to do that. They're going to smoke up, though. They're going to smoke up. They know all these heroes are on the right-hand side of the map. They're actually going to split up here. Palantimos going for a TP away. Big Num also TPing, cancels it.
Palantimos is still dangerous.
Palantimos is still here, but they're not going to go for the Razor. They're going to push up as they know the batting root's in the spawn. Somebody's got to be around here. It's going to be Happy. He's picked up. Can anybody else get out? Ooh, Big Num. He rolls just before Miracle could get in front of him and managed to stay ahead of mind control as well. Palantimos grouping up with his team. This was pretty good for them. A smoke only killing a Vengeful Spirit who does have buyback. There's nothing to say they can't fight right now. He went real deep trying to get some vision down. And what he found, he spotted his own death in the future. Now a roll in. He's going to be able to catch a Dragonite. He's fuel sceptered up. No BKB. He's already used his Force Staff.
What was he going for there? Was he warding?
He was warding.
He was warding, right?
Yeah, he
that
just
was a
placed
really
that ward.
aggressive ward though to place.
He thought that, oh, you know, we got the Vengeful Spirit. Cyber Legacy's not going to fight us.
Let me just walk up near this tier 2. It's all good. And they lost 2 heroes to that. And the Force Staff, I think the idea behind it is obviously to break the link, but I really think he needs a BKB, or that should have been his first goal to go for. If Razor is static draining the Dragon Knight, I think that's fine. It's better him than the Jug, right?
Yeah.
The Dragon Knight's value in these team fights is really just getting in there, blink stunning, Ice Blast over the top, immediately burst one hero. If Weehawk gets static linked at that point, it's alright. Aegis is going to fade, but they might still grab the tower here for this. I think NIGMA will want to fight 5-on-5.
They have BK Spider Legs for the Razor, so Palantimos, he's going to be very hard to juke in these team fights.
I feel like that item is really gone up for a quarter.
Bro, he's playing from the distance right now. He got the vision up on the high ground and was able to play the Fog of War game. Dancing around Cyber Legacy does not get caught, but they know, they should know that he has vision up there, yeah.
That's the 2nd time now he's gone for like a really risky ward, but that ward's always going to get dewarded. What's really cool about that ward is like you can tell whoever's winning the game because whoever has vision there. Yeah. And whoever can protect that vision. We had to go for the tower deny. He's really good at that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was like the 2nd highest towers denied.
Really?
I think Envy was #1 or something when I checked. Our old manager was really curious because she felt like Weehawk did it all the time.
Silence, what a big play from Big Num. They followed up with Peak Silence as well, and these heroes are probably all dead.
That Force Staff will not get you that far.
Is that a high ground push, I foresee? I think so. Then to mind control, he sees it coming too. That's why he's desperately trying to split push both the side lanes. Look at Pikachu though. He thinks maybe he can catch mind control. They're not going to go for a push.
Surprised they didn't go high ground there.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was time to force it. They had Exorcism up. Well, maybe they just feel really confident about their late game. They're saying we don't have to force it right now. We can chill.
Cyber Legacy are playing this game really well though.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, NIGMA's still trying to pick up the pace and stuff, but Cyber Legacy, Big Num especially, I feel like he's been a monster in this game.
For
His
sure.
positioning in these team fights, the way that he catches people, he's getting multiple 2-man silences off, another initiation.
Trying to disguise the board. And again on pops the Manta and a spike left up the cliff. He's good.
But this is probably going to lead into a high ground, and Mind Control is trying to get some pressure on the map, but he might have to come back for this. They do have a glyph.
500 health talent on Pikachu too. This is perfect. He had an Arcane Rune before he popped this Exorcism, so they are feeling really good about this. Repair kits. Filthy.
This is a lot of damage, though.
They still will have enough, it looks like.
Now they've got glyph? No, they won't use it yet.
High spots going out. They need to be able to catch somebody, but Stampede running away. Two of them do get clipped by it, but nobody got stunned, and Mind Control refused to join that team fight. He says, guys, that is not the play.
No, it's not. He made the right call there for sure. He needs to be the one to try to extend this game.
Yeah.
I think he realizes that him fighting 5-on-5 in that position is not worth it. They will die to the setup.
It's not looking good, though. Those tier 2s are still very healthy all around the map.
Yeah.
Cyber Legacy has done a good job protecting him.
I think NIGMA will get a lot of flack for this game because people see like Cyber Legacy and say like, oh, this team's terrible, but I think they're just playing very well.
Oh yeah, this team's playing great.
Yeah, to say that NIGMA is getting like owned by a bad team or something, I think is taking credit away from Cyber Legacy's really good individual plays that they've made in this game. Like, although they sort of had a shaky early for the game, I think especially Bignum has found so many different initiations. He's always found one of the supports. He's done a really good job in this game to set up for the rest of his team.
Like, what were the blunders they had when they ran up, when they tried to circle?
Yeah, that was probably the worst.
That was like the one play that they made that was bad.
But you can't expect the team to play perfectly. Yeah. Like even Sigurd or OG, or as we're seeing right now, NIGMA, like the top 3 teams can make mistakes. But they've been disciplined throughout. That Roche fight was very good by them. That high ground breach right there was very well disciplined by them. They didn't overextend. They're not allowing Mind Control to take too much. Like, Mind Control in this game would love to be able to trade racks. If all that happened was they lost mid, but Mind Control was able to like hit even a tier 3 tower at top, I think they would be okay with that.
Yeah.
They're gonna go for the smoke again with Roche about to respawn. Good timing for this. If they could catch somebody, especially this Juggernaut, he's by himself, but he's gonna just spider. He actually used the spider legs. They know he's there. They know he's there. He's gonna stop once again. Exorcist is immediately out. They take him down, and then they shuffle on into the Roshan pit. Did Roshan?
Now, it will not respawn for another 50 seconds.
Oh,
I'm gonna be really
unlucky.
disappointed about that.
But still, good moves by them. And Miracle being there, he knows that Roshan is about to spawn. He's got to be a little bit more careful than this. They're going to lose more heals now.
Yeah, GH. He sees the Earth Spirit coming, but he did not spot Happy. Glimmer Cape forward.
Bignum is dominating.
TP's into the base where their tier 3 has gone down to 1,000 health. So you can tell Micro's really picking up the pace here. He took the tier 2. Now he's taking a tier 3 down to half health. He's got to desperately keep Cyber Legacy away from their base. It's getting close to a Scythe of Ice. Oh, the Sprout, did they see it? Oh, looks like they didn't see the Sprout. Okay, well, they know that. Their courier just died. Pikachu. Oh, Mind Control. Uh-oh, he's been silenced.
He chose you.
He does not have
they're so good at the trees.
2 seconds. What is
Dude,
going on?
This is the 5th time now. You can't keep doing this to them.
One of these days.
One of these days.
One of these days.
Dude, just cut them all down.
You're gonna be.
There's gonna be a timber saw.
All right, Roshan's up. Exorcism in 50 seconds. If you're NIGMA, you know Exorcism is down. Do you think they should try and fight, or do you think it's all in, just keep on playing away from this team?
I think you have to keep playing away.
Okay.
Sort of believe 5-on-5s are going to be really difficult for them.
Yeah.
Those items I was talking about, the BKBs, the Glimmers, it's not easy anymore
to
take a 5-on-5 fight. They have really good items to team fight on the side of Cyber Legacy.
Oh, add in one more. Shiva's is done in 20 gold for Pikachu. And Butterfly is almost done for Palantimos as well. These are hefty upgrades. Last year is even going for a heart. That's how farmed he is. He's top of the net worth. You don't see that very often about a Centaur. And he's been all-inning on support items too. Pipe, and Crimson Guard, Lotus Orb. tipping Weehaw for some reason. An Abyssal Blade picked up from Miracle, but is it going to be enough to win this team fight? They're going to smoke on Cyber Legacy and push forward. They're not going to try and do Roshan straight up. That would only give an opportunity for Enigma. First, they want to be able to find a pickoff. They don't see anybody around the Roshan pit, so now they go back to it. X uses him plus the minus armor. Should make pretty short work of this.
The Prophet's going to pick up the haste room, and I don't think Enigma can fight into this Rosh. And they don't have anybody to really make a steal play either. It's the unfortunate part. Maybe Weehaw makes like the sickest play of all time. Like he blinks in, 4 staffs out, steals the Aegis and the cheese, but no, they will not know.
He popped Dragon Form. I think maybe he spotted someone on his ward and thought he was going to get gone on. Something. And they find anybody. Oh, Weehaw blinked away.
You sons of bitches!
Plasma field isn't good enough. Oh, Pikachu. He's alone. He does manage to get a stun in from Big Number. A 2-man silence to follow it up. He's going to go for Curl. Now last year is here. He stops a big one. Ice Blast coming in hot. Pikachu, though, has already done so much damage. Miracle has to be careful here. He needs to be able to get away. He's going to be saved by the help. Oh, he got swapped back in. Miracle trying to use that Spider Legs to get away, but another swap back in. Omni slashes up, and everybody will group them together. Take it all together now, and they managed to bring down Miracle. Big kill, as he does not have buyback for 70 seconds. They just picked up the Aegis. Look at top lane, though. Can Mind Control even it up? Melee Barracks. It's down. Nobody could have rotated here fast enough. Oh, come on. Oh, trans. There we go. There we go. Can they get out, though? Oh, they can't. They know. He was Mind Control. You're not getting away, my friend. Mind Control will try and get the counter kill, and he will on Big Number. But GH was also spotted. Good Yule Scepter there from Pikachu to find the extra kill.
They finally did not get away with it, Cap.
Nope.
They finally did not get away with it.
And look at last year on Happy. Say, screw it, we don't need cores. I've got 4,500 HP on this set.
Nobody's really near them.
Yeah.
But with 3 heroes dead, they're going for the throne, actually.
I mean, they're anticipating, like, no buybacks or something, and they would be mostly right. Only the buyback from Mind Control is going to be used now. Mind Control is going to use that to try and push top lane. Repair kits. Oh, this is going to slow down their push, especially with use of Glyph.
But they're still going for it right now. Mind Control has gone for the split push. Can they hold on long enough for the 2 heroes to respawn and do damage cap?
Getting a little bit low. Pikachu's going to see this is an opportunity. He's going to go for the exorcism. Tries to find somebody in the back line. He's put himself really far forward. He got bashed by Miracle. Miracle's not doing much damage, though.
1 set of racks.
He's already got 1. And where's he going to go from here? Is this team going to be forced to back away because of the repair kits? They're going to keep on going on this tier 4. Exorcism is already halfway done. But the throw is exposed. And jump forward. Abyssal Blade. And he swapped back. That's going to be saved from the Night Blast Fatality. He does have that second life. A save onto from Curl onto the EK. He gets back on the fountain and should be healing up here. So he can fight back in. The exorcism is now gone. A lot of their damage this building. They're going to try to bring some of these guys go out. Last hero, he's getting a little bit low, but Weehaw, he just can't seem to do enough. They're all focusing on the building. The Ancient will fall. And 2 is Cyber Legacies.
Ooh. We're going to get a game 3 out of this series. And we saw something of, what, 51 kills in the previous game from them. But this time it is all Cyber Legacy. Big Gnome was a beast.
Radiant team ban.
What's Radiant's ban plan anyway? Just who will dire ban? It's Radiant's turn to ban.
Welcome back, everybody, to more ESL 1 LA online, powered by Intel. This is the Europe CIS region, and this is NIGMA versus Cyber Legacy. Hello and welcome back. I'm Dakota, that's Grant, and that gentleman way over there. No, you, BSJ, you.
Yes. You. That's me.
You are here.
You. Okay, now speaking of which, can we get a settled action?
Can we please? We saw one, and that's all we've seen.
We already got a draft underway. It's an exciting time. For those of you just tuning in, yeah, it's 1-1. NIGMA, game number 1 came out of the gate. Hell's a-blazing, just crushed right through Cyber Legacy. But game number 2 was quite different. Yeah, Grant, they were like,
bring it back.
They were bringing it back, and Cyber Legacy took full advantage and knocked them down, and suddenly we're in a game 3 situation.
And they've already changed up. NIGMA's like, wait, Centaur, Death Prophet, nope, not anymore. Those two both actually played their lane very well. We saw, I'm going to say, a Miracle with a very uncommon misplay. He could have Mango spun when he got that first kill in the lane. He just died to a Crypt Swarm, man. That's, and obviously, you know, could be online jitters since you do have that little extra. You're not getting that one ping, but you can't do that straight up. That was a very big misplay.
Is he playing from like far away?
I am not
from
sure.
Home? I don't actually know.
I think Blitz might be the better person to ask for that if he even knows either.
No,
but
he's not around.
Yeah, Phoenix, let's do it. So Chen gets banned out again. Shadow Demon, DP gets banned, which makes Oracle a little bit lower on the priority list, so we probably won't see that here.
We ever see GH Snapfire?
We haven't. I've seen Curl play it though, so I know they do play it.
Oh yeah. It might be more of a
It's
five position pickup, of course.
It seems people have been moving it. It used to be, right? It was like 4 and 3 actually. It was like for the first 6 months, and then it's just like, no, it does the same thing if you put it 5. Like it doesn't need items. She has 1500 HP at like level 10 for God knows what reason.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Could be a plausible option, but you're right. The defensive supports have still been kind of cream of the crop.
Way more value
here.
for sure. They've been up the Ember themselves on Cyber Legacy. So both teams giving a ton of respect to the others, which you got to do. It's 1-1.
I'm trying to look at what may have been glossed over.
That hero definitely was glossed. And now that I think about it, I'm really surprised they took Phoenix instead of Coddle.
Greatest hero in the game.
Yeah.
For damn sure.
So who else should you pair, BSJ? Because we always talk about the Coddle Ember. Ember's banned. Is there another like sick pairing like that?
I don't think there's anything as good as Ember, but I think Gyrocopter's worth considering.
Bristleback again.
Bristleback's worth considering. I don't love Bristle against Phoenix, but I do love Bristle with the Coddle, so hear me out. They might just pick it.
Yeah.
Also, we don't really see any more of the Coddle Earthshaker support duo, even though those have been a classic pairing.
That is true.
And always continue to be a classic pairing as long as Coddle has Chakra Magic. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Dude, we just don't see Earthshaker. What the hell happened?
In the other regions, it was all over the place.
It was.
And GH plays a good one, too.
He's okay.
I wonder. I really do wonder why.
He's gonna get you. He's like a nice guy, and he's like, but that damn BSJ said that thing.
Bastard question my TI winning Earthshaker.
Is there any reason, BSJ, like actually in all honesty, we're not? Is it too slow?
It might be too slow.
Okay.
If you compare it to Earth Spirit, the Clockwork we saw first game, those types of heroes, not necessarily saying Clockwork's popular, but Earthshaker
more popular than Earthshaker.
It takes about 13 to 20 minutes, you know, to get that Blink Dagger, and before then, he's just a fissure.
Yeah. I think they're thinking about Mars, because I think they assume Cyber Legacy might pick the Mars. Obviously, Coddle's already a decent counter.
Prime they're using.
Yeah, they did this in the first draft as well. And I really do think they're thinking about the Mars. They go Earth Spirit themselves, okay? So you got the double GH. Just can't get to be the Curl Keeper, but it will be the GH Earth Spirit.
Yeah, how often do we see GH Earth Spirit?
Not as much. What, 2 years ago? A ton, right?
Yeah, it was a lot
even last year, we didn't see it much. They go Hex. I don't know why, but I'm hype about it. I just love seeing Axe.
We've never seen it, but I remember you guys mentioning it as a pickup, counter pick to Dazzle.
Yeah, we saw it once.
Here it's to protect the egg. BKB piercing, egg protection. We saw it from Alliance yesterday in the one game that they won. We tried to cut on the egg several times, and the Axe just blink calls you and say, "Hey, over here, not that guy."
Yeah, but why him? Why not the Mars or any of the other notable offline
BKB
pickups?
piercing.
Yeah, I think it's literally like in the mid game because because the egg is, as you said, BKB piercing as well. If you just get one less hit on that egg sometimes, and it's a beat, like what if it's a first item BKB Gyro? All of a sudden, he's just not a hero anymore because of these two. So let me say, BSJ, you have 2 giant BKB piercing.
Do you consider Omni Knight now?
For NIGMA, we saw it. For.
It was
NIP against the Axe. I'm just thinking the only way to deal with this is status resistance.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying Omni Knight's particularly amazing, but is that something worth considering? Can't pick saves like Legion and Abaddon. Those heroes don't remove call with their abilities. So, what's their plan? You're either split them up or
they skipped on Shadow Demon. Also was completely ignored this whole time.
No, it wasn't. It was banned by NIGMA. Very last one of the first phase.
Oh, okay.
You're good,
right,
yeah.
You're right.
You were testing, Grant. Good job.
I was getting ready to go. I was ready to go 5-head and be like, listen, Weeha's one of the few who can play Earth Spirit in a core. Let's go down this road right now.
I mean, with his strength gain now, I think we
used
might
to play
see eventually.
mid way back, yeah, like when it was Meepo and Earth Spirit days. But Void Spirit is the cool spirit on the block.
It is. I like this. I think it's very underrated in Europe, or I don't know. They just don't value it as the other regions.
I think you want a natural Yules builder against Axe, and Void Spirit's probably one of the best mid laners left in the pool that can. You pretty much always want to have somebody that uses the Axe up when he Blade Mail calls, if he goes for the Blade Mail. It has been buffed several times since its been removed.
Mega nerf,
Yeah, they made it so I didn't even realize it when I read the patch notes because I only saw it for Battle Fury, but Broadsword got changed to 1,000 gold from 1,200, and making an item as cheap as Blade Mail 200 gold less is pretty.
It's a big deal.
Pretty big deal for heroes like Axe. I even see like Ember sometimes rushing Blade
Even
Mail.
Void Spirits we saw in the SCA region and SAS. Okay.
Well, they've already picked the counter, so they get a free Dazzle. We saw Dazzle 2 from them last time against Void Spirit mid.
Yes, we did. I think this.
I hope it's Dazzle 2.
I'm loving this. I
hope
agree.
it's Dazzle 2.
Don't make it a 5. Please.
They have all damage over time from NIGMA right now, and Dazzle is the king at dealing with damage over time. That sustain from the Greaves lower cooldown as well as the Shadow Wave spam is pretty insane. I actually really, I'm on the Cyber Legacy train right now.
And I think the biggest thing is Pikachu is showing up. Like it's weird. This dude has played in 2 TI finals, and Pikachu's honestly, I would say, the favorite going into Game 3 and just a straight up one-go.
Do you think it's because he keeps stopping in on our drafts and saying hi before the games?
I think him being such a nice guy, I believe he's over there now, and he's like, not this time. I'm staying for Game 3, and I'm like, okay, we'll see though. We'll see.
Grant won't have to throw you again.
Yeah, I apologize for that, Pikachu, but sometimes you gotta get in the game.
Yeah, true. I do against the Dazzle, but I don't love it against this Axe Phoenix. I don't think it changes much about how the fight's gonna go. In terms of if they get their egg off, it's gonna go off, as far as I can tell right now. Unless you cloud on top of the egg, maybe that's the play.
My God.
You cloud and hit the egg, because you can't blink call in the cloud.
True. You're right. I'm just like, as you said, how do you kill this egg? And nothing yet.
I thought they might do like a Sniper Mirana type thing last pick.
I thought they were going to do Mirana with the Coddle. I thought they were going to do Coddle Mirana as their opening. I'm really surprised. If it was a CIS team, I think they would have. But because it's an EU team, it seems only CIS really values that. And S4.
For being really clear, everyone picks Mirana because first off, it kills the egg with the leap attack speed from long range, but also the disengage from pod multi is like really good. Anything that disengages the fight and resets against the egg is really good.
And against the Dazzle, who'd like, he wants to take that fight and keep going.
Are they just copy pasting the draft from yesterday for Alliance? Other than the Dazzle, this is the 3 of the same heroes.
It does make me a little worried that this might be a 5 Dazzle though.
No, don't speak like that, Grant.
I don't want to, because especially if he saw the Dazzle Void Spirit. They have to know it's really good.
Yeah.
They might last pick a 5.
Wait, weren't they the team that picked it?
What?
The Dazzle?
Yeah, they picked it twice.
Yeah, I'm saying like they picked the 2 position against Void, wasn't it? Or was it not?
Yeah, no, it was them.
time?
But I'm saying, you look at this draft, do you think Cyber Legacy is okay last picking a 5?
No, you're fine in that first pick. You're fine with that.
Okay. Smage. That's what I was saying. I think the one time you're fine.
See, they think it's a mid Dazzle too. They banned Bounty Hunter. That's a 5 position that people.
Yeah, good versus Coddle, good versus Ricky.
Low fits the low cooldown stigma that they got going for Cyber Legacy. Yeah, they have Haunt and Egg, but despite that, the 4 heroes that aren't Spectre should have no problem fighting just that Blink Axe. And Phoenix offers a lot of support from the back. As long as Dazzle has heroes in front of him, he dishes out a lot of damage. You don't really see it, right? You don't see the damage, but that minus armor from the ultimate, it adds up. As long as you have one hero that's dishing out the physical.
Oh, and it was a good meatball game, so get rid of it.
Get like for some reason Silencer comes to my mind here as a 5 position. Like imagine being able to Spectre ult Axe jump and then there's no response at all.
I think you just
NIGMA.
I actually really like that, except for the fact you're against a Ricky who would just feast on you all game.
I don't hate something like Venge again. Just makes it so you can't really focus the Dazzle. Because right now Dazzle kind of saves everyone else, and other than Blink Call on the Ricky, but that doesn't really work because of the tricks of the trade. I wouldn't mind having some way to.
I don't mind
to reset the fight
either.
For Dazzle.
Honestly, I'm just either a stun or a. Like you say, I think Venge is fine. I actually like Ogre buffed up with the Spectre. You get the stun. It actually is a decent egg protector because of his stun. He just walks up. No one's aiming an Ogre because it's an Ogre, and then he just stuns you. They're gonna use their time. It's crazy how much I favor Cyber Legacy's draft right now. Obviously, last overall pick, they might get Weehawed, but no Husker ban this game. But I don't think you can play Husker into Dazzle, can you?
That lane matchup doesn't sound that great. And Husker against Axe also sounds rough.
Yeah. So
later.
I just want to see what Cyber Legacy. Please be a. This is the one. I just want to see a 5 last pick because I don't want to see that Dazzle. Bigdom, don't do it.
Don't fall to the temptation of giving your mid a better pick. You know I love the pick.
Because you could still get counter. That's the thing. They have overall last 5. They're taking it all. They both did, by the way. Both teams are now 1 second time. Lich, okay, so it is the Core Dazzle. Love it. And Lich Spectre. Strong lane, honestly.
Yeah.
The Spectre should get farm. So BSJ, you got the overall last pick here. How do you tie it together?
Well, they picked Mind Control's hero last game. Is there potential? It's a Void Spirit offlane. I don't love Void Spirit mid against the Dazzle. That seems pretty rough.
No.
So could you go something like the Mirana or potentially OD? Okay. Okay. It's a 1-to-1 counter to Dazzle. It's also pretty decent against the Axe. They do put the Void Spirit in the offlane.
Okay, I have not seen Mind Control play it myself, honestly.
There's a reason why we haven't seen too much OD. It seems like a unanimous thing amongst pro players that the hero is pretty weak, but the hero still does exactly what it's always done, in the sense that if you stay alive for a long time and tank up, he is gonna dish it out. So it all comes down to the pace of the game that NIGMA can set. They have a pretty slow lineup for the first 10 to 15 minutes. Ricky usually requires that defusal. OD usually requires that first, staff, Hurricane Pike, Ags, something like that, in order to start participating. So I'm curious if they try to ramp it up with this lineup, because they don't really have it. But I'm gonna go for Cyber Legacy here as like one of the most likely upsets that I've seen. I'm not saying I 100% confident they'll win, but they look good second game, and their draft, I like it this game.
I agree. It's crazy to say it's both of us are favoring, and obviously I agree. If NIGMA, everyone minus that OD, if somehow they have a decent start and they just start running over people and you don't give the Axe room to get any items, they can do it. But I just think you always say the easier to play draft, especially in a game 3, I favor. So I'll go Cyber Legacy as well, man.
If NIGMA gets map control at any point in this game, it's over, because they have Ricky OD.
Yeah, and the Spectre does not flash farm back into the game. You do not do that.
I think it's going to be tough. I think the lanes for Cyber Legacy are strong.
Well, on paper, it seems like Cyber Legacy are the stronger team, but it's hard to pit them as a winner against a world caliber team like NIGMA. Let's see if the casters share the same thoughts. We'll throw it to Captain Blitz.
In Game 1 and 2, both teams proved that they can take the faster placed lineup and just run at the enemy and manage to take a victory. Now it looks like in Game 3, both teams have opted for a slower approach to the game. We may be seeing the exact opposite. Whoever can hold out long enough. OD versus Spectre.
Yes. Although I think I favor... Not sure actually. Maybe the Spec when it comes to the ultra late.
Yep.
He gets an Abyssal, gets on top of the OD. OD doesn't like heroes that get in his face and force him to use defensive astrals. But we'll see.
Well, let's see who at home you guys favor in this matchup. We'll see what the odds are at some point, I'm sure. Especially since Cyber Legacy, a bunch of doubters out there, but taking that game 2, I'm sure things are wildly different here in Game 3. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, 1.4 to 2.81. So people still favoring NIGMA pretty hard, but that's a lot of confidence for a team that got ran over. But they do have a hero that I think right now is very, very good. We heard PPD in the interview say, man, I don't know, Coddle just seemed broken. He enables a lot of different heroes.
He really does, and he's got a bunch of heroes that he does enable in this game. Both Void Spirit and Riki have some lower cooldown abilities that can be buffed up. Earth Spirit, similar idea there. Hell, you can maybe even get triple imprisonments in a team fight if you get an Aghanim Scepter on OD. How do you think the lanes are going to match up? We have Lich OD in the top lane. That's Palantimos and Happy playing together like always. And they're going to be matched up into Kuro playing the Keeper of the Light in the off lane here next to Mind Control's Void Spirit. Mid lane is going to be Pikachu versus Weehaw, like we've been seeing this matchup fall. Pikachu has been doing really well for himself, but this time he's been counterpicked in the OD against his Dazzle. In the bottom lane, Axe, Phoenix, Bignum, and Last Hero against Miracle and GH. A double melee lane against an Axe.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty free lane for Axe. I think they also win top. I can't really, I don't want to lie to you and say like I know who wins the Dazzle versus OD matchup. This is First Blood.
Nice pick up there from Happy. Didn't even have to use any of his 6 different mangoes he brought to lane. This boy knows what Lich is about. Frost Blast, Frost Blast, Frost Blast.
Yeah, he knows where his bread is buttered. So far, so good for Cyber Legacies. They take an early lead. Pikachu is going to cop quite a bit of damage. He's got to be a little bit careful for himself, but that heal bomb is going to help quite a bit. And the Poison Touch is still applied on a Weehaw. He's got to be careful about letting it reapply. Might just lead to his death. But I could see them winning 3 lanes if they're not careful, and I think Mind Control too.
Lane is just terrible. Oh, Lich, man. So hard to stop him. He even had a Frost Blast. He didn't have to use on Mind Control. Instead, he put it on to Kuro so they could do some extra damage.
Very good start for the top lane, and bottom lane is doing okay too. I think Ricky probably just farms here. High amount of base HP regen on this hero. You can see 5.2. So the harass that the Phoenix is putting out is less about harass and more about just making him miss the range creep.
This mid lane is pretty funny to watch because Pikachu just keeps on, he just forced Weehaw to use a salve. He keeps on putting the Poison Touch on him and then is willing to like dive the tower to reapply it.
I like it. That's ambition.
The danger is he could get imprisoned, turn around underneath the tower. So he's got to be careful of that as well.
GH is getting a little bit low. He's got to be careful here.
Yeah, Fire Spirits and a dive is up. GH, I think if you're Bignum, you've got this kill if you really want it.
And he might just die anyways.
Yep, battle
takes out. That's a 3-0 lead so far.
They are winning the 2 side lanes by a good amount now.
Yeah, the good news for them though is Weehaw is winning the mid lane.
Yeah.
He's doing a pretty good job, and I think he's the more important hero to have a good laning phase. I think he's the true one position in a game like this.
Yeah, compared to his Blink Dagger, Force Staff, Dragonite, this is going to be a game where Weehaw is going to feel like he is a powerful hero in the game.
Yeah, but Kuro is getting punted out of this top lane. Yeah. And now the creep cutting will commence. Last hero, there's nothing they can do to stop this. I think the reason why they put Kuro at top is because Coddle cannot lane into this axe. It feels very miserable. You're not going to have any levels of your blast, so you have no offensive potential, and it feels almost like you're healing him. And at least Mind Control can make some use of the Chakra magic.
Bignum is going to manage to pull into the hard camp here. That's pretty important. If he can get his level 3, maybe he can start roaming around while the axe cuts the creep wave. GH is going to kick him out of the experience range for now, though. GH getting pretty aggressive, and even as he rolls away, Bignum could pursue, and he does. But the battle hunger still on him, and he's so slowed down that Bignum is able to just get hit after hit, and that's going to lead to his death here. If he can get one more swing at him, and he will.
GH is getting outplayed this series by Bignum.
Yeah, he certainly is. Bignum knows it too. He tips GH.
Tip for what?
Maybe a tip for win. Cyber Legacy has their way in this game 3.
Yeah, this is an extremely good start for them, 4-0. Even this mid lane, I mean, it's going bad, but it is salvageable. You're Dazzle at the end of the day. Your real job is just a team fight. And once he gets his Necrobug, he is going to farm. You just got to be a little bit careful about getting it reapplied. And in fact, he's perfectly fine.
Gotcha. Happy. I'll try and grab some of the creeps while Spectre healing salves up. Once he's good, maybe Happy can do a little pulling. Five-minute bounty runes coming up. They're going to make sure Happy doesn't have a chance here to be able to get any of those two. GH at the same time is going to try and grab one, but Bignum swoops in and takes it away, ensuring they get the 2-for-2 split.
Gold is still relatively even in this game. I think a large part of that is just this mid lane disparity.
Weeha's dead.
Oh man, I said it was even-ish. He was ahead.
What happened? Why did he think he was getting poisoned, so he imprisoned himself?
I have no idea. He must have double tapped it or something. We weren't looking because we were watching this Earth Spirit, and then all of a sudden he just died.
Well, that is massive, because this OD was certainly up by a good amount in CS. Top lane, Happy, taking a little bit of harassment here. 20 matches of Lich this season. Happy, he's found his happy place, and that's when he's playing on Lich. Last hero, he certainly found a happy place of his own. Diving in that bottom tier 1 tower, killing Miracle. He's been getting extra farm by getting neutral creeps. He is probably the main reason that they are up 1,000 net worth on Cyber Legacy. Mind control slowed down here. Level 5, so he doesn't have that mobility. No dissimilate yet. Fortunately, that shield is still protecting him from all that physical damage. GH is joining him here, is seeing if he could root out Happy. If he gets the right direction, the pull. Oh, no, doesn't get him. Lich does TP back to the tower, though. He's still going to be in lane. It's not gone for good. There's a level 7 axe. Miracle, though, just picked up his level 6. A call with a little bit of fire spirit damage. Tricks of the trade makes it pretty hard for them to lock him down long enough to get a call in. But what they can't do is pressure him. Allow him to be able to get some pulls out. Palantimos gets a little bit low.
Oh, barely made.
Control. Missing the ether remnant.
And the blast doesn't follow up hit.
And he missed the resonant pulse too. Another roll back in if they can actually get the kick slow down. Happy may actually die, but it's going to be GH dies first. And they need this ether remnant to land in order to get the counter.
Oh, that is not what they wanted out of that trade.
No, certainly not.
They lose the 4th position for a 5 Lich. They do get a lot of pressure on this tower.
Palantimos was forced to TP back to the lane though, so. Last hero, oh, great TP out, but Weeha, he had the Sandy's Eclipse ready to go, and he will have that advantage over many of these heroes. I don't think a whole lot of these heroes have a high mana pool. It's really only Dazzle. So that Sandy's Eclipse is going to be particularly potent in this game. Palantimos rushing the Necro build means he had to slowly walk out to lane. A lot of lost farming time for him, and he's quite behind in experience as a result.
Dire's top tower is falling. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So they're actually winning 2 lanes on the side of NIGMA now. They've won. We still have the OD who actually is not ahead of the Dazzle. Never mind.
No.
So while top lane picked it up, mid lane has lost ground.
I was also told, by the way, that Dazzle does beat OD.
Okay.
Shout out to my captain with the clutch knowledge.
And it looks like that has unfolded over time. Even if Weeha was doing okay initially, over time it's just gotten worse and worse, the higher levels of Poison Touch. Necrobook is up for Palantimos. He's going to pop it now, farm out the lane, but he can't show for long. Especially with that outpost being taken. It means they can bring some reinforcements here, and sure enough, GH is going to show up. Cyber Legacy have been very careful about this top lane. Palantimos, he hasn't even hit his level 6 yet. He's been sharing all of his experience with Happy. Mid lane, they're going to roll in Pikachu. It's going to get gone on here. No save. He has no shallow grave yet.
That's a lot of heroes, though, in the mid lane. That was a rotation of the Riki, too. And I'm going to need this Axe to start participating somewhat soon.
Yeah, looks like I would like him to hit that tower instead of farming neutrals.
Yes, while his team's getting this much pressure, I think he should just take this tower. And I think last hero has to play similar game as to the last game where he just started rotating towards mid. Oh,
They actually get the
outpost.
They're
And now
gonna get
they're going to have to turn. The stun goes off, and it'll only stun one of them. Big Num will help them take the outpost back. They get that experience. But do they know the Riki's here? Mind Control's actually going to jump in. He blew both of his natural steps in order to make sure they get a fast kill onto Lich with a Will-O-Wisp follow-up. Last hero is a bit controlled. Big Num is able to dive away, though.
They get the courier too. So not bad at all for NIGMA, even though it was 6-0 to start the game. They started to pick things up. They're getting good farm.
Did he get the items? Looks like he has the hood, so.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
The Spectre's not actually getting that much farm, and he's going to get caught here.
Timos is going to be rolled on. He tries to dagger away, but he's going to be caught. The imprisonment, he drops the ultimate, and he comes back with no HP, so he's dead.
There is 5 heroes surrounding him. I don't think that dagger is going to get you away.
No.
And he hung around mid thinking there might be some sort of fight, and that's why we need to see last hero be a little bit more aggressive on this map.
NIGMA's definitely showing that just because we have an OD does not mean we are going to be taking it slow and keeping our heroes spread across the map. They very early 4-man up. Happy managed to dodge the Ether Remnant, but it pushes him back into Mind Control and Curl. Okay, the Spectral is going to go fighting into the mid lane where Weemon's in big time trouble. They manage to catch him from behind. Big Num is going to be able to get off the egg too just before Miracle can get that kill. Miracle now has to commit for it. Nice. He does manage to get the egg before he dies, but he gets bopped by that Shadow Wave damage.
That was a pretty cool move though.
Yeah,
he took to the other side so he could get the last hit. I think he would have died otherwise before he killed the egg. But he ensures himself that.
And here's a fortification from
He lets out a few squawks though to let Miracle know he's happy with that trade. After all, they killed 2 of the cores, and all NIGMA did was kill supports.
Yeah, a bunch of Necrobook 1s right now running around. They've
Did
got
they not
2
get
on
the Lich kill, by the way? I was watching mid lane, so he didn't not die.
I guess he lived.
Well, that's impressive.
All right. I think
they got one.
Maybe they just like hightailed it towards mid right after.
Happy with a new build. I haven't seen this one before. The double Windlace build.
Wait, really?
Yeah. He's a gamer. He knows it too. That's why one of them's in his backpack. GH. He's going to be daggered here, but it's going to come in for the kill on it. Happy rolls onto him. Blast comes out. Tick damage from the Fire Spirits is not enough to get the counter kill.
If he had that second Windlace, he would have been able to get out of the...
Yeah, maybe.
If he buys 3 of them, it like forms like a triumvirate.
Maybe he plans on buying 2 boots. That's why he's got 2 laces. True. Pikachu in trouble here, but last hero, he heard your call. Let's get more active, and he's here to make sure his cores are going to be okay. Mind Control so does have a magic wand sticks, but both Battle Hunger and Poison Touch are going to take him out anyway.
Yeah, that regen is not going to save you.
It's so much damage. That's level 2 Battle Hunger, maxed out Poison Touch.
And once you get a Blink Dagger on last hero, I'd imagine they just want to take everything. In fact, he's just parked here towards mid. Very tanky. Pikachu trying to protect his Necrobook 1s, and Miracle is also hanging around this area. He's got triple Wraith Band. They want to just fight with this hero early on.
Those Necrobooks are so value in that they just don't even give that much gold, even if they would die. Dazzle protects them, though, with a Shadow Wave.
Or in some nice holding pattern where if Cyber Legacy can hold on long enough, they're not behind by like 15k by the time Spectre hits his Radiance. He's going to be really strong because he obliterates both supports. Once he gets his Manta, that's the next big power spike, because I'd imagine somebody's going to get a Spirit Vessel on the side of NIGMA. Has to be the Earth Spirit, right? He's already going for Urn.
Yeah. GH only has the headdress for now, but I assume he's going to go Spirit Vessel.
There's really value in this game. There's so much heal.
Yeah.
Very tanky heroes like the Axe.
Mind Control's going to go Fuel's build for the Void Sphere. Invis Rune for GH. What can we do with this? Well, we should try and do something, because Spectre right now is farming his heart out with the Necrobook, and Pikachu is doing something similar.
He's also got Iron Talon, which is really, really good for him to farm out neutrals.
That's a pretty high point. A little bit afraid of a sentry, and he was afraid of a sentry between the towers, but the truth is he's standing on it.
Yeah.
They tries to bait him into a false sense of security. They quickly jump on a GH, but he managed. No, Happy! He cuts Gets right in front of GH. Very rude, but it blocks him in and gets the kill.
Killing spree for Pikachu.
7 all as our 10 minutes in. Make it 12. Looks like it curls.
Give it to your Spectre. No, he haunted for that.
Oh, Spectre haunted. Oh, Weehaw is forced to TP away. So much damage, too. That is a much more value haunt now that they've actually forced the OD back. They can take mid tower.
Yes, OD does not like summons, minions, people that can get on top of him. This hero is very single target focused without his ultimate.
I believe NIGMA did get 3 of the bounty runes. They did. But obviously, Cyber Legacy are super happy with taking that mid tower nice and early. Guardian Greaves up next for Pikachu. How's our Radiance going? Looks like he stepped back. Treads. Palantimos feels like he might need to be a bit more active. Doesn't rush the Radiance or anything.
Aghanim's kind of close to Weehaw. Only 1 piece off. But I don't know if this is going to be enough for him to just carry this game. I think Cyber Legacy are in a really good position. I'd say they're winning like 70-30 right now, in fact. Like the gold being even at this point. Oh, Dota Plus has it even higher than that.
Wow.
But they don't discriminate between team skill or anything like that.
And Dota Plus also has...
They love Spectre.
It has a hard on for Spectre. Spectre is like the greatest hero in the game according to Dota Plus win probability.
Oh, 100%.
So.
They're not wrong either. Spectre late game.
Yeah, for sure. Silence goes out. Will-O-Wisp just to make sure Bigdom has no chance at escape. That was big ultimate used.
And if the game is a little bit passive like this, I think it's really good to just pull whatever spells you can, get kills quickly.
Last 0, he's going to run right into GH here. The Aether Remnant's going to go out. GH needs to find a space to roll away, and he will not be able to. In fact, last hero with that movement speed buff. Thought about looking for more.
Wonder if he, after the Greaves, he upgrades into the Necro 3, by the way. I think it adds a lot of value into the Riki.
Yeah. Riki, ward control. Even just having, as you said, like just stuff out there in the field that can help soak up tricks of the trade hits. OD doesn't like it. We've got some AoE damage.
Save your mid tower friends.
You kill the melee creep, it might blow up in your face. There's the Aghanim Scepter. Or
you did get out of this. And Kuro is dead once again.
Poor man, he just wants to kill some wards. Instead, he finds his ward has been killed and his life is forfeit.
They're going to send last hero to defend top. And there's not a whole lot of moves that NIGMA can make. They're really just
going to try and jump last hero. This is going to be a hard hero to kill for, but at the same time, NIGMA is going to be caught. They do actually kill that Phoenix, but last hero does not die. In fact, he gets Guardian Greaves by Pikachu. So now, oh, that's a call. They spotted Miracle. Miracle is tanky enough, though. He's not going to get bopped right away. He'll be able to jump over, blink strike onto the creeps. But Palantimo shows up. He knows that mind control had no charges left. Would have loved to see them go for Miracle, but maybe he's just too hard to kill.
And Bignum even bought back for that. Not really sure what both supports are just doing mid.
Yeah.
Just sort of chilling there. They're going to die for that, and Miracle's going to pick up a DD rune. He's a little bit low on HP, but I think he still wants to fight.
Throws a ward on the high ground. They spot Pikachu. This is where they need jump. They need to blend it. Stun. They chose you. Good kill and a killing streak being taken by Weehaw. Very important. Plus, add another 100 gold maybe? Just 50 for the Necro book.
You have a sentry behind the tower, but Miracle might go for the snipe. No, he wants to get another kill with this DD.
Oh, this DD, it's a massive opportunity for them, especially as now he sees them on the retreat. Look at that. Lich just gets shot almost instantly, taking him down to half health. Miracle tries to jump forward. He actually tricks the trade for that. Does manage to blink strike in, and the imprisonment goes out. The ENG goes down, but they quickly kill it, and now Lazio is surrounded underneath his tier 2 tower with nobody to help him.
Nice Astral. This was such a value DD room, and a nice move by Miracle, making his way all the way around.
Yeah.
They did not anticipate that. And now they get the lead. Weehaw is really farmed. He's got 9.5k. Miracle is behind, but he's done a lot of work. He's almost got a BKB now after just picking up his Aghanim Scepter. They are throwing kills away at him.
Palantimos does have enough gold for his Sacred Relic. So we'll start. Ooh, abandoned again. Miracle, they're not prepared. He finds the kill for Happy. Miracle is a little bit low, though. If they can somehow keep Pikachu alive, Miracle still hiding in
Astral #1
site here. Astral 1, smoke screen. He is about to come up. Pikachu does manage to get off the shallow grade, turns around, and is just outputting damage as quick as possible now. The 8th Remnant catches Palantimos as he comes back in. They immediately TP away. Weehaw last year. Oh no! He got hit by some damage, and his blink wasn't enough. Fortunately, he still managed to catch Miracle. Mind Control TPs out successfully alongside Weehaw.
Still, they're getting outplayed pretty hard on the map right now.
Yeah. Oh, Kuro.
Kuro would be a nice kill. He's going to pick up a bounty rune. He's going to all in to try to get to the second one, too.
Trying to, like, push them away, but Happy, he got pushed forward. They keep on pulling him down. Don't let him get the bounty rune. Kuro, so close. He's got it. He's got it. But he gets the bounty instead. He goes for the big boy plays. He's still going to be spotted. Tries to buy some more time. The dagger. Cannot juke that.
That's 2 bounty runes.
Yeah, that would be
worth it. I think they got all 4, potentially. I don't think anybody was near top for Cyber Legacy.
Sure. Palantimos is so close to his Radiance, too, so they really needed that extra gold.
That was the most valued death I've ever seen.
Most valued death you've ever seen?
In this game.
Fair.
I'm a caster, you know? Just gotta hyperbole. It's like our strongest weapon.
Yeah.
He's the best player. The best Rubik. This is the best game. Biggest black hole. Etc.
Etc.
You got the gist of it.
Yeah. Looks like last hero wants a Heaven's Halberd. They need a 4th staff real badly, and that's what Pikachu is going to go for. Smoke screen imprisonment combo with an 8th Remnant as well. It's kind of dirty.
Yeah, it kills every one of them.
They've got really nice ways to cover each other, too. Between the OD and Prison saving against an Axe, and if they go on the OD, there's Will-O-Wisp.
Look at the timing, though. Level 15 for Spec. He's got the Radiance. They're immediately going to smoke up around this. They want to set up a kill for their Sector. They're going to run into Miracle if he just runs down just a little bit. They want to get the high ground vision, too, before they jump.
Spot him with the Sentry, but last year wasn't close enough to be able to get the call.
They also don't know where Weehaw is. So they don't want to just go in.
He's going to be able to get the call, but look at Weehaw's position perfectly to be able to get the imprisonment to Will-O-Wisp in return, and now he activates his BKB. Lanes of damage into last hero, but Weehaw's taking so much from the Spectre, he has to back himself away. Happy is going to be hunted down, but Weehaw traded out for this is well worth it for Cyber Legacy if they can keep this fight going well. But it's going to be Pikachu's now taken up, moves back into the smoke screen. Pikachu's trying to get off the shallow grave. A call to intercept on G8. Another smoke screen. He's so low, and he gets off the shallow grave. He turns, casts the poison onto Miracle. Miracle's forced to retreat. He trying to get away. It looks like he's going to be fine. The rest of Cyber Legacy turn for the heroes that went towards their jungle. They're only going to be able to get G8 Mind Control TP'd out. But Big Nut, once again, he's happy, boy.
That was a 2 for 2. They got the OD. That was his 10-second BKB. That was a successful reveal of the Radiance. All around a very good fight for Cyber Legacy. As we're going to see here,
again.
The jump. They really wanted to see Weehaw first.
Yeah.
But I think they said, screw it, go.
And I love the fact that very quickly Palantimos is like, I got to stay on this OD. And he took so much damage from the minus armor. They just right-clicked him down during BKB. He had a mega kill streak, too.
Yeah, that was quite the swing. And that was with the Lich not casting any spells, the Phoenix Egg not going off.
They did so well to keep Pikachu inside the smoke screen.
Oh yeah, the blinding light pushback was really sick.
And not enough.
Still wasn't quite enough.
Back into the game we go, where Cyber Legacy are holding a defensive posture over their high ground. They are going to stick in this triangle because they need another 50 seconds for Haunt to come up.
No Haunt, no Egg. NIGMA has made the call to go towards Roche. They don't have a 4-staff either yet. And the question is, can Cyber Legacy do anything about this? And the answer is most likely not. Don't think this is an easy fight for them to take whatsoever.
Mac for Kuro. Aghanim Scepter will be pulled up for Mind Control, though he's still another 2,200 gold away from that. Miracle trying to go for Manta. They gonna smoke up on Cyber Legacy. They just took the Aegis. They think maybe they can catch NIGMA with their pants down. They have Haunt after all. They got a successful scan. They see Miracle. They're on the jump. He's trying to close in. He's trying to get there in time to be able to get up the imprisonment. He goes for the axe crawl, but it wasn't quite good enough. He managed to get saved now by the imprisonment, and Miracle's going to be able to jump away. And now they're just lined up for Weehaw to land the damage to build up the Sandy. The close he drops it now, but not enough to kill last hero. And now the chain Phoenix second. BKB is gone. He started up the imprisonment, turned around onto the Spectre, but so many heroes are still alive from Cyber Legacy. They will continue their pursuit. They will hunt Weehaw down. They will take away his Aegis and Nigma. They're going to have to fight around for this life too, but Cyber Legacy, they're going to play it safe here. They say we should be pretty happy here. We got that one kill. Let's try and get out with minimal losses, and minimal losses usually means Happy's going to die.
That fight was almost even worse for Nigma. Weehaw just barely got in range to save Miracle. He got down to 100 HP. Axe was not able to cut him down.
You can see they have some damage problems. I mean, that was somewhat ideal for Weehaw. He just got to sit there and swing and swing and swing. And
the Greaves, if you can't get on top of Pikachu, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The Greaves plus the amount of heals, he got his Grave off onto the Axe. He's got to get out here.
This is a classic. He just went back for a neutral item.
Come on. You need these ancients. Yes, you do. You're going to get away with it. No, the tight sliver. Oh, God.
Go for it.
This is a disaster.
Bignum. Operation Bignum. Dive in.
This is... All right. He's got him. TP on out. TP on out. Don't die. Please, Bignum. I can't believe that just happened. Like, back to back. You know, if that was... What's an item that sucks for tier 3?
There is one item that definitely sucks for tier 3. I just can't think of it. Enchanted Quivers.
Yeah, I guess if it was like a quiver. Oh.
See,
probably wouldn't matter too much.
It was so close. He got off the ultimate on last hero, but he had just enough HP on Miracle to not get cold. Still, though, they won the fight, and that Chain Frost bouncing over really did some work on Weehaw. And almost killed Kuro, too. Even game, 19-19, and the net worth is even.
I mean, do we think it's an even game?
But
I don't think it's an even game right now.
Gotta let me finish.
All right, let's hear it.
Even game, 19-19. Net worth and experience directly even. But see, there's always a but. But the pressure is on NIGMA. Try and take advantage of their team fight while they're having it. Otherwise, Palantimos, the Spectre, the biggest late game hero in the game, will eventually win out. Spectre has level 18. If he gets that level 20, man, that's that 500 health bonus. That means a lot when you've got the extra 22% damage reflection from dispersion.
Easy. As well as the miss percentage chance of obedience. This Manta will make things really, really difficult for NIGMA. I think they're trying to all in on this OD being like the huge threat, but once it gets Manta, he'll go for Abyssal, he'll get on top of Weehaw. They don't have heals themselves. The amount of saves that they have are limited. It's really just this mech on this Coddle, which I think was a very good item pickup. Mech is really useful item against Axe, just so that you mess up like the theoretical HP. Like you think that Miracle's gonna die to an Axe Culling Blade, then he gets mech'd at the last second, and you have to stick around a little bit longer. All these instant initiation burst jumps, good item pickup. But as far as map control, in favor so far of Cyber Legacy, this Axe with an Illusion Rune is going to help out a lot. That is my favorite rune to get on Axe.
Yeah. So now, NIGMA, they smoked up, but they have to back up and do some lane maintenance here. All their towers are going to get pushed thanks to this Illusion Rune. They're still going to go for it, though. They're going to show GH, but they're going to run into the Radiant Jungle here now.
The pings,
they don't have a ward on the high ground, but they do on the left-hand side. Mind Control jumping forward like this. He actually gets right in the middle of the Spectral. He's going to go down. They manage to get the call on Mind Control. Can they get the Clone Blade? They're actually not getting violence, but he managed to get the Simile, and the silence came through. Piling up these heroes. Palantino's getting lower. He just needs a couple more shots from Weehaw. He's got the Sandy. He's a glimpse. All he needs to do is drop it, but now he's been called. Now they turn. A Chain Frost. A Guardian Greaves. Palantimos is still alive, but finally he falls. And that Cyber Legacy. They still have a couple more heroes that are low. Pikachu Pikachu try and chase him down with the Necronomicon plus the poison. Oh, but he has an Essence Ring. That spells disaster for Pikachu. He gets pushed to the other side of the cliff. Tries to go for TP out, but is used. He'll die here. And NIGMA find their first great team fight. And now it's off the back of Mind Control. Just diving headlong in.
And he fought back for that. That fight could have been really good for Cyber Legacy, but the smoke cloud on top of Mind Control made it so that the Axe couldn't get the final chop. They had to wait a little bit too long to finish him off. And from there, pretty straightforward fight. I mean, some of these Coddle ults by Kuro, we're going to see it again. He gets on top of everyone. Then the smoke screen on top of the 2. The Axe is desperately, look at that. He really wants to chop.
Too. Like the miss percentage chance on the Spectre ruined him.
The Coddle ult just ruins the Spectre. The rest of the team, Cyber Legacy, they were playing on the right side, and you can see that the Spectre just all-ins for the engage, but not quite tanky enough. And really good item and spell usage by Weehaw, turning that one around.
Back into real time we go as we see NIGMA trying to push a tier 2. Glyph will defend it. Siege Wagon falls, but Cyber Legacy not doing a whole lot, sitting inside their base, trying to wait it out. They have the Haunt here in 5 seconds time. They can wait for the Manta as well if they want to. Palutimos basically has that 600 Blink Strike cast range for Miracle. He really wants to get on top of some of those heroes in the back, understandably so. Does mean he sacrifices that big damage upgrade in the backstab multiplier.
Now NIGMA, I mean, even though their heroes might be a little bit worse at this phase of the game, if you can just outplay them in the team fights, and Mind Control can just kind of YOLO in like that.
What does playing them in the team fights mean? That's on position.
So they had complete vision of that area,
yeah,
and it was still Mind Control that just blindly went in and said, screw it, it's time to fight. He finds 2 heroes. They go on him, sure, but it opens up the rest of the team fight for Weehaw. Like, if Weehaw's able to just sit in the back, deal damage like that, and Miracle's not getting gone on, perfectly fine. Kuro drops the ball. They don't have BKBs to deal with the Keeper of the Light ulti. That Disco Ball, it lasts the entire duration every single time that I've seen. Either Cyber Legacy need to do a better job of getting on top of the Keeper of the Light, or they need to do a better job of just killing it as soon as they get on top of it. Because right now, they're doing the worst option, which is just kind of fighting in it and waiting for the flickers.
Well, maybe Pikachu can do something about it. He's going to get a BKB.
I think the silence in the previous fight prompted this.
Yeah. If he gets silenced after he uses Guardian Greaves.
Oh, and Pikachu's bought it too. Yeah, they're pretty frustrated by the smoke cloud. It's been doing way too much. And you can see that Mind Control is committed for the Academ Scepter. They've just all in on this silence.
Yep.
Necrobook minions are going to pop in, see what's going on. Mind Control's going to run in. He sees heroes.
He's going to drop it real quickly to check the high ground, but he's still going to be spotted by Mind Control. Seal Scepter combination goes down to Will-O-Wisp over the top. Now the rest of the team is going to side of this. Oh, look at that Miracle. He tried to go for the egg, but he actually gets caught by the Lich, and the egg will successfully explode, stunning up the Weehaw. But it's still inside of the Will-O-Wisp. It's Palutimos. Fortunately, it's faded away now, and he can continue to try and chase down this OT of Blink 4. Trying to go for the call, but doesn't quite get it. Spectre goes, and he commits. He's going to fall here unless the imprisonment. Can he get some sort of blink away? He's got nothing left. He's a sitting duck. He's just dead. And the rest of NIGMA, they're going to have to win this fight without him. Miracle's going to try and come back into it, but it is just a ball of death and destruction by Cyber Legacy. Jump forward from Miracle. He tries to go for the back line once again. He tried it once on Big Nup. Can he get it the second time? No, he's denied by the Shallow Grave Miracle. He's not going to be able to do it. The heal up for the Sunray has now put the Spectre out of range. He gets slammed down by the last hero. Kuro, the captain, will be the last to fall. 25-25. An even game? Unlikely. Cyber Legacy win a big team fight and continue to push this Spectre to the late game.
And they've got good creep positioning too. They can grab some towers out of this and force some more pressure onto the side of NIGMA. I don't think anybody else is going to buy back. to try to hold this tower, so this should be free and easy, and they might even go for a tier 3. As we're going to see the jump again, it starts on last hero, who I think is the worst target for them to go on.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the Dazzle just waiting in the wings. This fight got really split up. You saw that the egg got launched for free. Miracle was all the way on the north side of the fight. Weehaw needs that protection from Ricky.
So he is looking for Bignum at the start of every fight, but when he jumped on Bignum, Happy reacted instantly and got the Sinister Gaze on him. It pulled him off of the Phoenix long enough. He stopped the smoke screen from going down and allowed the Phoenix to get off the Supernova egg.
Nice. Some bounty runes picked up. They could get all 4 if they wanted. Roshan still isn't up. And without taking a fight first, I think it's going to be a little bit hard for them to just walk in and do it.
Yeah.
I'd have to imagine that NIGMA will all in for that engagement.
Dude, spider legs on Dazzle. It's near
permalegs.
It's near permalegs.
Permalegs.
It's like a 1 and some change second downtime.
It's just gonna spider out everywhere.
So he got his all the cores got their 20 talents. Last hero runs into GH. The smoke breaks. So no team fight's gonna be had for either team to open up the Roshan pit. I have to wait a bit for that. Blasting going down in the mid lane from the Keeper of the Light. Same with the Dazzle. What they want to do is push in that mid lane.
DD rune.
Force NIGMA to do something here. A DD. They don't save it for the Spectre. They don't want to leave it out there for NIGMA to grab. So
bottom lane's pushing in at the same time. Bignum's done a very good job. I think this is one thing that I really appreciate about this game, is that they've done a really good job of lane maintenance.
Yeah.
Always pushing out waves, making sure that there's pressure, and force somebody from NIGMA to show at all times. Whereas Cyber Legacy, whether it's been through illusion runes or Bignum just being very aggressive on the bottom half of the map, and the Necro books, they've just put a lot of map pressure in this game.
That's where Miracle, he has to run down to bottom lane to deal with this. And have his TP ready to go if they start the Roshan fight. He's going to use his Manta to try and push it out, but it's a big enough wave. I'm not sure if it's actually going to be able to stop it. And all the meanwhile, this is the advantage of the Spectre, right? He can farm wherever he wants, whereas NIGMA they feel compelled to be a little bit more grouped up around that Roshan pit. And this means Palantimos is able to farm very efficiently, which means he's about to finish up his Abyssal Blade. He gets that. He gets on top of Weehaw every single fight. Bare minimum, he ruins his BKB.
Yes.
Weehaw.
And there's an Aghanim Scepter picked up by Bignum. This is a really nice item for Phoenixes. Ideally, he also gets his level 30, or level 18. Level 30, level 18. So he got Super Egg, and he's not that far from it.
There's the Vanguard.
Oh, they're gonna run into each other. Both smokes. Last hero.
They're gonna sit with the Abyssal Blade on top of Weehaw. They're gonna keep him chained up with the Supernova successfully going off. NIGMA are on full retreat here, but can they double back in to be able to bail out Weehaw? I'm thinking not. He still has his BKB. Maybe he'll go for a TP out or something with Palantimos. He has that Abyssal Blade. He has that badge. He can stick on top of Weehaw. He gets a badge that he needs to be able to finish him off. Now the roll forward. They're trying to go for the kill on Pikachu. NIGMA as well. GH Miracle. They do manage to get that kill, but an instant buyback from him. There's still 5 up from Cyber Legacy. It bounces back on it. GH is continually slowed while it's Miracle who's being constantly hampered. They do manage to kill Happy here. Palantimos being burned out of his mana, but Miracle, he's the one being burned out of his life. He has the poison clutch on him. Smoke screen, but he has nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide as he's spotted by the gem. And a one fight inside of the Roshan pit leads Cyber Legacy a chance at Aegis and Cheese.
And if they get this, I really don't know how they're going to kill the Spectre twice. You might actually just get the cheese and give the Aegis to Dazzle.
They feel like they need to try and grab the Aegis and Cheese away.
Yeah, and Mind Control is trying to make some moves right now.
And as they get close, they almost get caught. Mind Control, he doesn't have... Oh, he has to go for the TP away. Oh my god, he got it.
Barely didn't have mana. Pops the Clarity. GH is doing all he can. He's chucking stones at him, trying to slow him down.
And Cyber Legacy, really want to catch one of these heroes because they know that NIGMA's going to do something drastic here. Let's just kill them instead.
It's only 12 seconds for this OD.
Yeah, they can't be delayed anymore. They have to be able to commit for this Roshan. Somebody needs to get in there. He's been delayed, but Roshan, it's still at 600 HP. It's still enough. Last year's going to be able to get the climbing lifeline. But Roshan is not being dealt any damage. Dire do manage to finish up Roshan. Still trying to TP away, but he's cut down. Culling bladed away. The two supports, they tried to do something there. In the end, they're left with nothing to hold on to.
And it is the Dazzle that gets the Aegis because he used the buyback in the previous fight. And fight after fight now should go Cyber Legacy's way. Their lineup is scaling quite nicely. This one-ish position OD is just getting kind of crushed right now. Like everybody just swarms on top of him and he has no real way to back out.
Yeah. This is looking like a near unwinnable position for Nick.
I don't know if it's near unwinnable. I'd say it's probably like, now it might be like 90-10. If you call that unwinnable, that's still decent-ish.
Yeah, they got, according to Dota Plus, they've got an 8% chance.
That sounds roughly about right.
Yeah. Well, a repair kit will slow down this push. They're going to need to get Imprison after Imprison. Really build up those stacks for Weeha, but he doesn't feel comfortable getting close to them. Because if he gets Axe called, that could just be the game. They do manage to hold long enough for the supports to come back up, so Cyber Legacy will back away. With the tier 3, he used one of the charges to repair. Yeah, they should just be happy with that. After all, they've got some more items that they can get. 6% talent of dispersion for the Spectre. It's building towards a butterfly, something that OG has a very hard time dealing with. But Spectre is not there. Pikachu gets jumped, but at the same time, instantly, a hook to haunt. Abyssal Blade onto Weeha. They do have the Will of Wisps trying to create some space for Weeha, but he just can't really get away. A Force Staff trying to help him out, but last hero sticks with him. Looks for the confidence rolled on by GH. He backs up to the rest of the team. Doesn't want to overextend himself, but Miracle still trying to get in his back line. He does manage to kill Big Enough. The smoke scheme prevents him from being able to get off that egg. Pikachu being chased down by Mind Control, managed to finish him up. There goes that Aegis. Weeha, he's coming in. He still has the Sandy's Eclipse. No BKB though. He's got to play careful. Needs to build up some charges here. Threatens Palantimos. Palantimos still has no, he no longer has the cheese. He doesn't have the protection. No, but Miracle got caught. He got controlled up. He does have a buyback. He may need to blow. Here's Weeha. Oh, nice turnaround imprisonment onto the axe. He knew he was going to get caught otherwise, so he tries to save him. Mind Control. Interception. He jumps in. Now a buyback coming in from Ricky. It jumps forward. He spots Pikachu. They know he doesn't have buyback. He used his Aegis already. Double silence going out. He's dead. He's dead for 2 minutes. And Big Up, he also bought back, and he also doesn't get the egg. Oh no! This is the 8% that Dota Plus predicted. Cyber Legacy, they've lost 3, 2 of which don't have buyback. And the Jets is still alive though.
GH is still on the run.
Does he get it? He's gonna hit him. He stopped the TP. He kicked him down. So Yule Scepter into the remnant. They can just poke and prod at the Spectre. He will eventually die here. He's gonna try and fight back, hope for a kill himself, but he's unable to do so. He has buyback. But can NIGMA, a team that didn't actually use their ultimate Insanity's Eclipse, could they force this?
Oh, that was so well done by them. The way that they just constantly kept shifting downwards while Miracle was just assailing the backline, and he lowered the numbers. It was a 4-on-5. They didn't have Lich for that. He's going to kick Miracle in with the DD. He's trying to go for a hunt. He knows it's only the Lich. That was such a cool move. He has no other way of getting up in there.
They know Happy's like, Happy's going to think to himself, I need to frost shield the tower.
Yeah, Happy is probably thinking to himself, how could he have gotten in there? Just a nice special delivery.
He's gonna go for the tier 4. There he goes. 3 shots. Unbelievable. He has no buyback. And now, with no frost shield, a throne push seems very possible. Nope, they're just gonna go for the barracks. A buyback from the Spectre is used. NIGMA.
That was such a cool move.
They're gonna go for 2 here.
And now they take back the gold. Look at the gold swing.
Massive. A massive swing. A melee barracks is all they got out of this, but buybacks were forced. They are now in a very winning position here. They just need to win one more team fight.
Dude, 10k gold.
Oh, like the gem. The gem got just taken back by the courier. And they knew it too. They saw it, but they couldn't find the courier in time. The gem is returned.
That's pretty significant. But Big Num still has no defensive items, no force staff.
Yeah.
He's not able to get his egg off in any of these engagements, and that's been pretty crucial. Miracle has done a really good job of getting on top of this Phoenix and blowing him up before he can get it off.
And it's going to be even harder if the Abyssal is up for the Ricky. He also has the minus cooldown on Tricks the Trade every 5 seconds, so Miracle's going to be playing in and out. Manta, BKB, Tricks the Trade every 5 seconds, 2 charges of Blink Strike. It is going to be hard to keep track of this guy, but if you can do it once, all you need is do it once. He does not have buyback too.
Cyber Legacy, they're still in a position where they can win. It's just so unfortunate for them. That top fight, that was the stuff of dreams.
That win probability shot up so much that it's now slightly in the favor of Team NIGMA. An incredible turnaround, but it's not over yet. As we take a bit of a breather, any talents or items that we haven't talked about? Flicker, the OD.
Okay, that's pretty big.
That's pretty big.
That might actually be one of the first like flickers where I'm like, ah, that's actually really useful.
Yeah. He also has the level 25 talent, the 2% arcane orb damage.
Oh, this game's it's making me sweaty.
Minotaur Horn for the Earth Spirit with Yule's Pipe. Mind Control has his aforementioned Aghanim Scepter, and he could buy out an Octarine.
This looks just so poor.
But he does have buyback, so he's not going to. You're going to see that cute
I love this play. The little kick, the friendly little push into the base. And Miracle was so patient. Poor Happy. There's no way he expected that. And honestly, it's very reasonable for him to not have expected that.
Yeah. Teams have gotten so good about punishing that stuff. It used to be that like you could play as a support player defending your base and like cast some spells every once in a while. Nowadays, it just seems better to sit in the fountain just to make sure you don't die without buyback. Even a defeat is practice for your next victory. Where's that victory going to be? We're going to see another one of those replays as we hop around a little bit. This is that top team fight that...
It starts with Miracle finding that egg.
Yeah, Miracle finding that egg and then failing to kill Weehaw.
Yeah.
So Weehaw's able to get back to the base, TP's in.
I love how they keep engaging, disengaging, engaging, disengaging. They're making it really difficult for Cyber Legacy, who just wants a straight up 5-on-5 fight.
Yeah.
They don't love this. And once they killed the Ricky, the buyback from Miracle, we're going to see in a second.
He could have
overcommitted so hard
here, but he waits for them to really overcommit. Yeah.
Then the jump in, and the Dazzle has no force staff because he forced forward to try to catch the OD.
The double silence went out there from Mind Control that actually clipped Big Num, which is part of the reason he was unable to get off anything.
I can't wait for chat to see that play, though.
Yeah.
That was so cool. I love the little things, man.
Ghost Scepter are really close. So we have that scythe for Dazzle, and he's been outputting a lot of minus armor here because he's got the level 25 plus 0.5 armor reduction off of Bad Juju. So every single time he casts a spell, minus 3 armor for everybody around. And that is what is allowing Spectre to be able to blow up some people. But he feels like he needs something to dissuade the OD from hitting him. And he's actually going to go for a Blade Mail. A Blade Mail that goes off at the right time in this game could be game-winning. Could turn all that Sandy's Eclipse damage back around on the OD or protect him from being hit by the orbs for a while. No, I think we covered everything. Except for the fact that Kuro doesn't have an item, the neutral item. He does have, though, or somebody has it. Is that Kuro? Yeah, that's Kuro. He's got a full-out solar crest. That will certainly help that OD a lot. That is a big boost in attack speed and armor.
Kuro is really rich. That's been one of the hidden factors. And his Disco Ball is doing way too much in these engagements. You can now see Cyber Legacy prioritizing hitting it, but he's getting a lot more value out of his spells than Phoenix is.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps when you just cast them. Well, he's got the AoE too for the Will-O-Wisp. That's so hard to deal with. All right, Miracle's back. He reconnected. Is he good?
I think they're just testing things, seeing if everything's okay. Oh, I meant to watch the chat during that play. I think it already happened.
All right, the game resumes. This is game 3. Team NIGMA versus Cyber Legacy. A huge underdog, but they won game 2 against NIGMA with a fast-paced lineup, and this time both teams agreed to go late game. OD on one side, Spectre on the other. NIGMA, they were losing the last couple of team fights until they had game to hold in the top lane. They caught so many heroes with that buyback that Cyber Legacy were in turn forced to use every single one of their buybacks that they had. As a result, the game is now dead even, where there was once a big advantage for Cyber Legacy, and there probably will still be a big advantage if nothing happens for 6 minutes. So it feels like perhaps the onus is still on NIGMA to make sure that game-ending team fight does happen.
I don't know, man. That's a 3.5k HP Miracle.
That's true. 3k HP on Weehaw. These are not the same kind of squishy heroes that the Spectre was once feasting on.
They're holding the high ground. I like this. They want to play around their ward vision. They've got 2 wards dropped here. They know that NIGMA has no vision themselves, and they're going to go for a smoke. They ping. He's going to get the D ward off. They're waiting.
Control. He's going to put himself on the front lines. He has buyback. He wants them to go in first.
Because he knows Weehaw is waiting.
Weehaw, who also has buyback. He's inside. The call goes out. Oh no! Oh no! Last hero is initiation. Now Life Control's going to jump forward. See if he can find somebody in the back line to balance Spectre. Last hero pops BKB. GH managed to roll onto Big Up. Big Up's going to be targeted here by Miracle with the Will-O-Wisp as well as can't get the other. He can't get out. He's shot great up. The Yotes are going down as well. Now the chain box up and around. Managing it. But that damn egg is never going to go off. They can hold up so many heroes with the chain tail. If they can get the cold blade, the chain front doing so much damage. Palatino, he was saved for the shallow grave, but they couldn't get any of the kills. Miracle's on 1 HP. Last hero, he's being beaten by a cold by Weehaw. He goes down.
Oh my God,
dead. No buybacks on Cyber Legacy and NIGMA. They didn't even need those 3 buybacks they had. They execute the team fight perfectly enough.
Oh, if they had 1 force staff for this Phoenix, they just needed to save it when he gets smoke clouded, or he needed to buy one for himself. He now has it queued up. Who cares about your agonyms if you can never get your egg off? What's the point? Oh, this is so rough.
A brutal air
They're
by
gonna throw.
They're just gonna go straight for the throne.
They actually did it.
Team NIGMA. They looking for that last kill. Oh, Happy comes out. Desperate to try and stall them out for a little bit longer. Please dive me in the fountain. Do something. But it won't happen. Team NIGMA will focus on the objectives here.
Take my life instead.
And what could have been a massive upset.
It was very, very close.
It was so
close.
They had a 92% chance to win this game according to Dota Plus. Bignum's going to come back in. Happy's gone though. Imprisoned up. They can just ignore him.
You let yourself get carried away.
You let yourself get carried away. Oh, what a perfect voice line for this game. Legacy.
They really thought they were going to win this game, and that was really, really close.
It was exceptionally close. You got to feel for them, man. I mean, they clearly came into this the underdogs. They proved themselves in game 2. I don't even think game 1 was that bad. They have a very tight game 3. They almost won that game, and it still didn't work.
Yeah. But a promising sign for them, maybe. But good job by NIGMA. They might have been 0-2 so far in this group, and that would have been disastrous. But instead, they